Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're going to start with a prayer this morning for our workshop.
Okay. All right, that'll be me. Good morning, everyone.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's just join in agreement. Father, we thank you for this day. We bless you. We praise you. We give you glory and honor. We thank you for this opportunity. We pray now, dear God, for this conference, dear God, that our minds are clear, our hearts are open to hear your word, your will, your purpose, your plan for us. We pray that you give us wisdom and guidance and direction, but most of all, give us unity and love. God, we thank you for this opportunity. We bless you now. We pray for this conference for those who are on here, dear God, for those who are joining. We ask that we all be in agreement with what you're doing, what you're trying to do. We ask that you heal our lands and bless the works of our hand. We give you all the praise, glory, and honor. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Thank you so much. That's a absolutely great way to start off this conference today. Greetings from Mid-South Progressive Agriculture Group. Also, this is a great, we have a great opportunity today to learn wonderful information that's presented through the New and Beginning Farmer Workshop today. Wonder if the Honorable Sharon Gibson is available. If not, just some general housekeeping. We have, according to the outline, we have several speakers that will be presenting today. And we're going to try to stay on task as much as possible. There are mute buttons at the bottom of your screen. So during the presentation, if we can allow the presenter to share their information and at the very end, ask questions. Also, there is a chat box at the lower bottom of your screen. If you have questions, you can input those in that particular area. Okay, according to the agenda, do we have Miss Barbara Belford with Marshall County Tax Assessor available?
Good morning. Yes, I am here. You ready for me to start?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you all see me? I can't see the screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Barbara Belford. I am the tax assessor here for Marshall County. I am the newly elected tax assessor for Marshall County. I made it through my first year here as a tax assessor, and so yay for me! I made it 1 year. But it has been very interesting here in the tax assessor's office, learning all the things that I need to know about how to make sure that our taxes for properties, for farmland, for our businesses are equalized across the county. A little bit about me. I am a retired federal employee of 32 years with the federal government as a former commissioned bank examiner. I do want to take a moment and thank Mr. Theobald LaSure and the coordinators and organizers of this event for inviting me to this workshop. So I want to share a couple of things with you this morning that may be of assistance to you as you start out as a new or beginner farmer in Marshall County. As I stated, I am the tax assessor for Marshall County, and this is the place. Our office is the location where you come to pay your land taxes. We assess your taxes, and they are due once a year, normally by February the 1st of every year. Around November, before December, you should receive your tax bill from our office, from the tax collector's office every year. And although we assess your taxes, our department's tax assessor, tax collector, we have two different offices here in Marshall County. Just FYI to some of you, in other counties, you may see that the tax assessor and tax collector is the same office. You have one position there. But here in Marshall County, we have two separate offices. Also, to pay your taxes, if you want to, you can pay here in Holly Springs, or we have a location in Byhalia where you can pay your taxes there as well. So with your land taxes, I know with a farmer, they want to know, how can I get a break on my land, my taxes? And so here's one thing that you might want to consider. We have what is called agricultural use of the land. And to get your land classified as ag use, you have to have 20 acres of land to be categorized as ag use in our system. And with that, you receive a discount on the land. And it's a nice, sizable, huge discount. You probably don't pay that much money for the land, but for the taxes on the land. But you have to come in and let us know that you have the 20 acres, because we won't know it, and we don't know it's for farm use. So you come in, let us know you have it. We'll change your value over to ag use instead of pricing it out as market use, which is at a higher rate. Okay. Another thing I want to share with you is that if you have a house on your land, and you don't have to have the 20 acres, this can be a lot. It could be up to 1 acre, be how many acres you want. But if you do have your house and you live in that home, you can also apply for a discount. That's called homestead exemption through the state of Mississippi. It allows you to get a discount on your taxes that you pay on your home and your land. That application period is actually going on right now. It starts every year, January the 2nd through April the 1st. So we have 3 full months to take applications for homestead exemption. With that, you have to bring in certain documents into our office. You have to have purchased that home or be living in that home the prior year. So if you purchased a home, for example, in December, but you did not file your paperwork with the courthouse, with the Chancery Clerk's office until January the 15th, we have stipulations that the property has to be purchased by December 31st, and it has to be filed with the Chancery Clerk's office by January the 7th. So if you haven't filed your papers by January 7th at the Chancery Clerk, then you have to file homestead the next year. We have discounts for regular homestead, which is $300, plus you get your rate at a 10% rate for your taxes, versus it would be normally 15%. Also, we give a discount for 65 and older, which is a much higher discount than the regular discount. You get up to $7,500 off your taxes then. Anything up to $75,000. If you have let's say for example, if you have a property and your property value is $60,000, then you probably won't pay any taxes if you're over 65. And that's the same for if you're considered disabled, if you receive Social Security disability. Now, if you are a disabled veteran, 100% disabled veteran, you will be able to receive a full exemption, and you don't owe any taxes on your home and your land. So there are documentation requirements that you have to bring in when you come to our office, such as a state issued ID, marriage license, your disability work papers, your award letters, if that applies to you. What else? I said marriage license if you're married, your deed showing you purchase of property. So those are some of the requirements that we have that you have to bring in to show that you own the property, or if you're applying for over 65, then you'll have your ID to show that as well. Also, you can visit us on our website. You can go to Marshall County Tax Assessor's office. We have an application form that you can fill out online, not online, but you have to print it out and handwrite it and then bring it into our office. That'll save you a little time when you come in the office. We do have those blank forms here in the office, and you can receive those blank forms online as well. Those are the two things that I wanted to go over with you as a new and a beginning farmer. And that's basically about the ag use of your property and the opportunity to file homestead exemption if you have a house on that property. So I'll open it up now for any questions if you have any. Okay.
Hello,
Are there any questions in the chat?
I have a question.
Okay, who am I speaking? Who's speaking?
Linda Chandler.
Okay, hi, Ms. Chandler.
Two questions. Hello. Two questions. If a person is disabled and file homestead and they receive and don't have to pay any money for taxes, who is paying that money for them? I mean, is the government, federal, who paying that money?
It's not any money to be paid. You'll be exempt. If you're exempt, that means you're not assessed the bill.
Okay, so if you're exempt, who paying the exemption part? Is there anybody, or are you just exempt?
You're just exempt.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your question. Are there any other questions? Okay. Hearing there are no other questions, then I am gonna end my presentation. I'm gonna provide you with the office phone number. If you need to give us a call here in our office, if you can jot this down, it's 662-252-7906. We are open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. except on holidays and weekends. And we'll be happy to answer any questions that we can for you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for the information that you have provided. The next speaker will be Ms. Jessica Howard with FSA State Outreach, and she is a coordinator.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jessica Howard, as she just said. I'm with the USDA Farm Service Agency. So I want you guys to shake loose those jitters. I know we're probably at home right now, but there's no need to be, a little worried about anything. We're going to learn a lot today, all right? I looked at the agenda. We have a lot of people who are going to present today, and I'm glad to be one of those people. I hope that you guys are doing all right, even though the roads are not the best right now. I hope everyone is doing all right. And I do want to just dig straight into it. I sent a request just then to share my screen. So I can't that. Give me 1 second, please.
Okay, Ms. Howard, I just made you co-host, so you should be able to share it now.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, what do you guys see it? You just see my screen?
Yes, we see it.
Sorry. Are you guys doing all right today?
Yes, ma'am. How are you, Jessica? You doing good?
I am doing just fine, just fine. And also I want to say to you guys, just to, make sure that the flow of everything goes well. If you have a question for me, you guys can feel free to put the question in the chat after I finish, and I will respond. It could be anytime during, if I see a FSA related question, I will dig right into the chat and respond as soon as I see it, okay? So don't hesitate. If you have a question or anything that I can help you with, please go ahead and write it in.
Night, Mike, elsewhere around the region.
So like I said, my name is Jessica Howard, and I work with the Farm Service Agency. If you guys are familiar with our agency, we provide a lot of programs that help assist producers, especially during hard times. This is something that a lot of producers that I have interacted with, they have used it to benefit themselves, their family, to prolong something they love. A lot of times you are in situations where it's kind of a tight place. You have to choose between what you love and what's going to sustain your family. And in times like that, I've noticed that FSA has actually been able to assist a lot of producers. We've been able to keep a lot of farms up and running. And we don't see any gender, any race, or anything like that. We just care about what you love to do. We care about the fact that you love to farm, and we love to make sure that you can do what you love to do. Like I said, my name is Jessica Howard. I am currently the outreach coordinator for the state of Mississippi. So You have different people who are in outreach throughout the state. This is something that I'm sure you guys are not aware of, so I would love to tell you guys, but you have a person in your county office who is responsible for outreach as well. So this person knows some of the things that are going on in the county, if there are any programs or anything like that going on, and they typically notify the public. I'm the state coordinator, so I assist with coordinating programs, assisting with going to events, doing things like this. So if you have anything that you are looking to have a FSA representative, whether it be me or someone in the county office, you can still reach out to me and I will help facilitate that.
He's 105 miles an hour.
Coordinator
Right.
for the state of Mississippi at this time. I can provide this to you guys. So this is a breakdown of what FSA is. And this is, I would like to say that this is how we would typically respond when asked what is FSA. The definition that I gave you in the intro is how I would describe FSA. We assist the backbone of our country because that is what the farms are. Farming is very, very important. I don't think that you have done or touched a thing today that wasn't created or at least monitored in some aspect by a farmer or producer. Whether it be the milk that you use in your coffee or oatmeal or the cotton in your jeans. So it's all coming back to the people that help sustain America and other countries around the world. All right, so we're going to get started with this. So today I want to focus on helping people who are not already signed up with FSA or people who are interested in signing up with the FSA, understanding what we're going to do when you come in, okay? This is basically a nice little run through that's going to get you guys familiar with FSA. It's going to get you familiar with what the process is when you come in the door. So this way, you guys know exactly what to expect. So when forms come and you see different things that you have to sign, or they're saying these different form names, which sometimes can be a little, it's a lot of letters. It's a lot of letters sometimes. So this will definitely assist you guys with understanding what we're talking about when you're coming in. And I'm going to touch on a few other very important topics for beginning farmers. And I'm also going to show you guys how to navigate a couple of things as well. I'm going to try to be brief though, because I know you guys have a lot going on today. It's a lot of education and I'm interested in learning some things myself. So let's see, this is what to bring to your first visit. So if you've never been in an FSA office, or if you have a farm that you haven't signed up yet, this is what we're going to need from you, all right? We're going to need a proof of identity. You're going to have to give us a driver's license, social security number card, IRS, EIN number, something of that nature to verify your identity. I'm going to need a copy of your recorder deed, survey plat, rental or lease agreement for the land. Now, when we say, I'm going to touch on points that I typically get questions about too when doing this PowerPoint, just to help everyone, you know, so we can flow together. So the rental or lease agreement of the land, basically, if you do not own the land, you have to have a lease agreement with that landowner to operate on that land. So this lease agreement it doesn't have to be extremely detailed. Okay, I know that sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. We just need to know where the land is located, the landowner. Of course, they have to have their signature, the date, and the span in which you're going to be farming that land is the amount in which it's going to cost to farm it. So, for example, I am going to lease my land to my husband, and he is going to farm this land, which is 23 acres off 123 Boulevard in Maple Ridge, Mississippi. And he's going to lease it for a year for X amount of money. That's the gist of what that lease agreement would say. Now, if you own it, then that would just be the deed outright. Okay, so we also have a couple key points on the side that I want you guys to look at. But in general, when you come in, we're going to ask you for a few things, but we're going to also assist you with a few things. I do have some of those forms on there, but all of this is in pursuit of a farm number, okay? So the farm number is very much like your social security number, and I know it sounds like I am make it more important than it is, but I promise you that is how we identify you. So it is very much like your farm number, okay? It's very similar, and that way it'll kind of assist you guys, because when you come into the office sometimes, you know, just being able to recall your farm numbers can assist, but we can also look them up by producer name. So it's not essential, but it definitely is something that can assist while doing things. So it helps you with accessing the key USDA programs, to vote in FSA county committee elections, and receive routine program notifications. All right, after you come in and we start this process, we're going to move along to registering your farm or ranch in the FSA database. So once we start registering that information, we're going to continue to ask you questions. There will be a series of forms that follow, and I do have them in this presentation. So I know it sounds a little crazy right now, but I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. We are going to create a map outlining the farm or ranch with the boundaries and the acreage figures. So once you give us the lease, say for example, if you purchase that land that I gave my husband, let's say that land has been in farming for years. So it already had an existing farm number, and he just didn't know it, okay? So I'm giving him that farm number, and once I type that farm number into our system, it's going to pull up anything related to that farm number. So I can literally see what has been farmed there. I can see who has had that land. I can see the acreage. I can even see a rough GPS image of it. And we do provide this image to you, and I will show it to you as the program continues. We will provide you with the farm number, which will allow you to access those things that we mentioned on the previous slide. Now, this is the starter pack version. This is when the actual forms start, okay? So this is referred to as an AD2047, but it's a customer data worksheet. So I'm sure if you've worked with us before, you've seen this form already, because this is the general information where we get all of the producers' information, okay? So if you have worked with us and you've gone into our system, you've already completed this form. If you haven't, it's just a very general form where you tell us like your name, address, phone number, you do your demographic, that is self-service, meaning you do it yourself, or you identify yourself. And then there are some things on here, like if you want to receive any more information, like if you want to request any information from NRCS or rural development. It's a very interesting form, and it's very simple. It's one of the forms that you're going to get, and we will assist you with completing. But I just want, like I said, you guys to see them. So when they're put in front of you, we know what we're working with. You're already familiar with it. Now, this is a CCC 941. This is an acreage adjustment gross income, or AGI. You're going to do this every year, okay? Literally every year. And I know that sounds like a lot, but you literally only fill out like 2 places on the form, okay? And we will assist with that as well. But this is just something that you want to make sure that you know, remember to do on a yearly basis. It's very important. This is a 1026. It's for highly erodible land. This is a form that we typically get a lot of questions about, just because it has questions on there that you do fill out. But like I said, we do walk you through these, so please do not feel intimidated by any of these forms. I know there are a lot of words and there's a lot going on them from the eye, but I promise you, once we start going through them and filling them out, you're gonna be like, oh, I thought this would take forever. And it's literally just going to take like 5 or 10 minutes, especially with us teaming in, assisting as needed. This is the very important form, okay? This is very important because this helps with receiving payments. This is an SF3881, okay? This makes sure that your payments comes in however you prefer, okay? Whatever your preference is as far as where you want to receive your payment from programs. This form is farm operating plan form. Now, when you come in, this is a part of getting your farm number, a part of getting your farm in our system, getting it up and running, understanding how you want to operate your plan. What exactly are you looking to do? What do you have already? What are you bringing to the table? What type of entity even is this? Is this a, as you can see, let me see, where's that section? It's over here in the beginning of one. You can select whatever your entity is, however you're operating, you put your name in, the tax ID number that's going to be your identification number for this entity, things of that nature. It's like I said, we do walk through this with you, but I do want you to see it. This is a 903 worksheet for payment eligibility. Like I said, it's another form that we do walk through with you. I know that when you see these forms, if you have a form question, you can drop it in the chat right now. But when you see these forms, I do understand that sometimes it can seem very overwhelming. I have been on the other side of those forms. I have also worked in the county office, and working in the county office, you get a different view of a lot of things because you actually get to implement things. You actually get to, you know, work with people and see what they need at a floor level. And grasping that understanding that a lot of times these forms seem intimidating. So like giving them to people and just allowing them to leave without assistance sometimes can be hard. And if you need further assistance, we are here. I want you to know that we have no problem with assisting with completing these forms because like I said, they can assist a lot of times with being able to get into certain programs, especially like when I showed you that first form where you can self-identify whatever your race is. Say if you wanted to apply for a program in the future where that was something that the program was geared towards, and you didn't self identify yourself when you filled out your form. You see how you could miss out on a grant or anything that could potentially pop up at a later time because of the way that you completed your forms in the beginning. I know that sounds like a lot, but like I said, we are here to help at any time. Please do not hesitate with asking county office people questions when you have them. Don't leave feeling half empty, okay? Never do that. Always ask questions. Always, even if you're not sure about something, don't ever hesitate to ask questions. I'd rather ask and not know what I'm talking about than walk out and leave it to my mind, because me and Google, I will figure something out and it will probably be wrong, but at least I'll have something. Another thing I want to talk about is acreage reporting. This is a very important beginner step. You want to make sure that you are reporting your acreages every year, okay? This information is being collected, it's being saved, and it's in our system. You do want to make sure that you're doing this every year, okay? Do not forget, all right? It's very, very important. And I'm going to dig a little bit more into it as the slides progress. So to file an acreage report, all you need is, you need to tell us the crop, the type, and the variety. What am I saying? I'm saying, what are you planting there? You're planting corn, planting soybeans, you're planting sorghum. What are you planting here? What is the type? What is the variety? If you're planting corn, is it yellow corn? That's what I'm asking you. The intended use of the crop. What are we using this for? Are we using this for grain? What is the purpose of us doing this? The number of acres of the crop. How many acres did you plant? You have 20 acres on this farm. Did you plant the full 20 to corn, or did you do 10 to corn and 10 to soybeans? Map with approximate boundaries for the crop. We will actually give you a map, and it has the borders of your farm. So you'll just show us the borders or where you planted your crop. The planting dates, this is very, very important, okay? It's very important that you tell us what you planted, where you planted, and the day you planted it. Keep those in mind at the top of your mind. And we also want to know if it was irrigated. And I'm going, like I said, I'm going to dig into it a little bit more when I show you the image. Now, once we talk to you about that, we will generate this form, the FSA 578, in the system. Now, when we're generating this form, those circled areas, those are areas that are specific to a producer, okay? So in the top, that'll be your farm number there. Underneath, it'll say your name and your address that's associated with that farm number. And then it'll also be in the next circle. And then at the bottom, if you agree Only if you agree with the information that has been typed and entered into this form, you will sign and put your relationship and then date, okay? I'm gonna dig into it a little bit more right here. So this is like a little quick sheet that I made just to assist producers. When I was in Bolivar County, it really assisted my producers with completing the acreage reporting. And they would take it home. They were actually very glad that it was made so simple, but I decided to take the form and actually utilize it when I do getting farmer information because it did very much make it simple. Sorry about that, but for example, we have this farm. So this is how it would appear. When we print the map out, at the top of the map, you'll see your county and the state. And then on the map, you'll see a parcel or a farm. And as you can see, it tells you the field number, which is 1 in this instance. And it tells you the acreage, which is 8.60. So we're just going to focus there, right? This is the information that you'll typically see when we hand the maps here. So what you see in the red writing is me as a producer going in and adding to the map. So at the top, I will write my name, Farmer George, and my shares. I have 100% shares on this farm, meaning I own it, I planted it, I reap everything coming from it, so I have 100% shares. Now, in my field, this 8.6 acres, I planted soybean for the purpose of grain to be irrigated, and it was planted on 5/6/21. So as you see, when you look closely, that's everything that we just told you we needed. You need the crop name type, the date of the crop was planted, whether the crop was irrigated or not, and the intended use. Now you see how all of that complex wording now is so simple in a general image that you can retain easily. This is another example I want to work through with you guys. So we have another field here with the producer, and this is the acreage here. So this producer decided to plant their farm half and half. So they did half 3.5 in soybeans, and then they did half in corn 3.5. This is non-irrigated, which is what NI stands for, and it's for the purpose of grain. This is the plant date, and that's the acreage. Once again, everything that they asked for in the first, maybe about 3 slides back, generalized and very simply written. Now it's easier to understand. You just need to know the acreage, the crop, the date, if it's irrigated or not, and the purpose. Now, this is the same information. What you just saw in the map is the same information that's here. If you look closely, you can see producer, the share on the land is 100. What was planted? They got corn, variety, yellow, intended use. It was for grain. I don't know if you guys can see that. Is it irrigated? Non-irrigated. And then, so if you agree in the image that we filled out together in this form, this 578, if they both say the same thing and you are in agreement, then you sign and you date. Once you sign and you date that form, typically you would take it to crop insurance, a copy of it. Some county have a very close relationship with a lot of the crop insurance people, and we can send them if you need assistance with getting that documentation over there to them if you ask about it. Farm programs. So I'm going to move this section towards the back because I really don't want to just tell you guys about farm programs. I want to show you how to do it. I want to show you how to find out how to dig and get a good understanding of what's going on. Because I know I get those questions a lot. People always ask me, you know, what's going on, or how do I see this? How do I do that? And a lot of times I do understand that everything's getting more technology based. It's a lot harder sometimes for people to find things. And I just want to assist you guys with navigating those systems. But before I do want to tell you that you can always contact your local USDA FSA office. If you do not have a good relationship with them, I challenge you to do so, okay? I challenge you to actually reach out to them, get a good understanding of what programs are open, what could benefit you. If you want to look more into it, you can go on the fact sheets on USDA.gov, or you can go to farmers.gov. If you have access. Another thing that I do want to talk about very briefly is the county office committee. You guys are like, I'm just getting in the door. I'm just getting a farm number. Well, guess what? With that farm number now comes a right and comes a voice, and we will use it. So this is how you use it. You use it through the county committee, okay? This is how you use it. With your voice, you would basically, when your LLA comes open, now you will have to speak with your local county office to see if you are even able to vote at that time. But when the LAA, which is basically your area of your county, when it comes available and they are now running, they're going to let you know. And then you are able to throw your hat in the ring. Okay? You're able to say, I live in this area. I've lived here my whole life. I know all the producers over here. I know the soil. I know what areas of these fields take on water and hold it for a prolonged period of time. I know the digs in the road. I know who combine always breaks down. Like that person will be so beneficial in this position because that person will be able to actively speak on behalf of those in their area. You'll be able to actively speak and say where these people, like, well, I know Farmer Joe filed a complaint and said that he couldn't get out there and say, for example, that's the best way to teach is through example, okay? Say, for example, you have a producer and you know him, okay? He stays a couple of fields down. You see him all the time. You saw him yourself get out there. He tried to work the land. He tried to, but he couldn't because it took on water and it was taking a long time for it to break down. So he had to late file. And you know that he did this. You being on a county committee, they gives you information to where you can speak on his behalf. Okay. You can vocally tell them, oh yeah, I did see Farmer Joe. He's telling the truth. He did get out there. He tried to farm the land. It did take on water and it took a long time for him to get out there. I saw him maybe 2 days ago and his combine got stuck. Like things like that could really benefit producers. And especially when you have that eye for just noticing things and being around, just always being observant, that assists with being the voice for your community because you know what's going on in your community. You're very familiar with the farmers, and just trying to diversify your county office is very important because you want to be able to have someone who can speak on behalf of everyone. Okay, you want someone who can speak on behalf of everyone, not just the people who are typically in the forefront, but also the people who need assistance and they just hardworking people don't want the attention, but need the assistance. These are some of the information that's pertaining to actually learning for the county office committee. I can provide more information as we go further because like I said, I do want to show you guys a little 1-2 in the farmers programs. This is my contact information. I'm gonna leave it on the screen for a second before I jump off. I'm gonna show you guys how to navigate these systems really quick. Okay. Now, as you can see, I'm just on a typical vein search box. Nothing special. This is typically the default, whether it's Yahoo, Gmail, whatever. Typically, you have that search when you start off. So I don't know what I want. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I know it's USDA related. I know it's FSA related. So that's what I'm typing in search box. Now I have these different things that I'm very confused about. I don't know what's going on, but I see this USDA.gov, okay? .gov. That's where I need to go. Keep that in mind, guys. .gov. Okay. Virus. I apologize, guys. I actually stand. I'm not sure why it's not letting me put this, but I'm gonna work with what I have. All right, sometimes that's all we can do. We type into the search box, it'll be USDA, FSA. You can keep it very general. Say, for example, this is something that I get asked all the time. Producers would be like, don't y'all have a GOAT program? And I'll be like, GOAT program? No, that's NRCS. So you see how you'll have like the gist of something, but then you're not exactly sure who implements the program or how to find the program. I would advise you to just go to whatever search engine you prefer, whether it's Google, Gmail, Yahoo, whatever. And type in USDA FSA and go to fsa.usda.gov. That'll be this site right here. And this is where all of our information is, regardless of the state. This is going to be the national level of information. So when you go in there is a section or a hyperlink that says fact sheets. And I don't know why it's acting a little crazy right now, but I will try to actually put it in the group chat, the fact sheet link, so that you guys can go to those fact sheets. But we do keep very detailed, very I would say they are very simplified because they give you everything you need to know, and they take out a lot of the I guess gibberish, a lot of the government words, and kind of just put it to what do I need to know. I don't want to, I don't want to know all of this. I want to know what I need to know to help my farm operate to the best of its abilities. And those fact sheets really give a very detailed breakdown of exactly what you need to know, what's needed, what the program is about, who is eligible for the program, even deadlines for the program, everything is written on those fact sheets. And it's very simple, very easy to read. You can save them. They aren't typically updated very often unless there are changes to the programs. But even that, you can see when you look at the program, it'll have a date on them, and you can tell when's the last time that they actually went in and updated those forms. Generally, we update them, as programs change. And it is very easy. I promise. It's just a hyperlink. I wish I could show you guys. That was my intention. I'm not sure why it's acting like that now. But I'm sure this will not be my last time seeing you guys. And next time I will do it on my personal computer and not my work computer, and maybe let me pick it up. But I'm gonna look over and see. Do you guys have any questions before I stop the sharing of the screen and just go to the voice part?
Good morning. My name is Grafty McDaniels. I don't have any questions, but I just wanted you to know that there's an outage right now. That's why you can't get on.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
If there aren't any questions, I want to say first, thank you guys for attending. Thank you guys for hosting. And I hope you guys are filled with the information that you are looking for. Remember, if you do not know and you want to know, ask questions. We are here for you. This is what we are paid to do. And more than that, that is what I am called to do. Thank you and have a great
Ms.
day.
Jessica, can I ask one question, please, before you leave?
Connie.
So on the COC, we get the cards from our county. First we say, like they ask who wants to nominate, right? And then we get the cards with the to vote. Now, to be honest, I've never voted, but I'm going to start. Now I'm going to start because I see the importance of this COC through this marketing assistance for specialty crops. Is there a way? Now, my question is, as in an election, a standard state election, I can go to the election board and find out how many voted in what areas, how many, everything of that. Is there a way to audit the previous election to see how many people in my county actually voted, and then more specifically in my area?
Okay. So honestly, this is what I would say. Now, first, we typically that information is housed within the county office. So the COC does have, they are able to see this information. They do see who, well, as far as it's housed there. I want to keep it very simple. I don't want to misspeak about anything. But basically, what you'll have to do is you'll have to talk with the county office. There isn't somewhere that you could side of it to even have that discussion. Not typically. Now, what I would say is, are you planning on running? I want to talk to you specifically. Are you planning on running?
I do. I am. I'm planning on running, and I want to do my research on my area. See who all, see how many is voting in my area. How many votes do I need to drum up? How much support do I truly need to drum up to get a percentage above how many people voting in my area?
Okay. So what I would say is, first, I would say to see when your LLA is coming up first, to see when people are even running in that area, because somebody could have just, they could have just had that election and somebody could have just been seated in the last year or so, So first we're going to have to see when and if the position is coming open. If it's coming open soon or if it's in a couple of years, get a understanding about that. And depending on when the nomination period is going to open, that's your window to get out there and to put your feet on the pavement, so to speak. Find the producers in your area, because keep in mind, we're only talking about your area. So you should already be familiar with the people who are voting, because these are people who are typically in your area. These are people who you might see when you go and pick up your seeds or anything like that, So basically, you're just letting people know, hey, I'm running this and that. And whatever your punchline is, whatever you want people to remember you by or remember you running for, or however you want to leave your mark, is completely up to you. And depending on the time frame of when that nomination period is open, that's how you would navigate that. Like, say if it's coming open in the fall, well, I'll say in the spring. If it's coming open soon within the next year or so, then how would you get out there and hit that ground? You'll have to talk to them when you're getting your seed, when you're doing things, letting people know, hey, I'm going to run next time, so that people know when they see your name on the ballot and they'll know to vote for you. It's kind of no different from when we were in high school, and when we would try to run for presidency of the class or the secretary, and the class voted for whoever would be seated in that position because they felt like that person was the best to speak on behalf of the class. It's a lot like that.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, those positions are 3 years. Are those positions 3 years?
Yes, sir.
And you try to alternate the elections in each county, so you don't have to flush out the whole team at one time. You alternate them year after year, so something similar to that.
That's the theory, something like that.
Okay. All right. Good to see you again.
No problem. Good to talk to you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you guys, if you don't have any further questions for the Farm Service Agency, I will be passing over the mic. But I will, like I said, once this outage is over, hopefully it's over before I get off this call. I would like to put links in here, but even if I can't, Mr. Delbert is such a great guy. I'm going to send him some, and then if you guys need those resources, I'm more than sure he will be sending them out freely. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Ms. Howard. We can kind of see how FSA and the next speaker with the USDA kind of go hand in hand, and the importance of obtaining that farm number and able to access services. So our next speaker is Ms. Gray with the USDA liaison.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here with you this morning. I hope everyone's staying warm today. I am Kamika Gray, newly appointed USDA liaison at Alcorn State University. I just began my position as liaison in January of this year. And as liaison, I work with Alcorn State's College of Ag and Applied Sciences. I work alongside College of Ag Dean Wakefield, Dexter Wakefield. And my position, I oversee the 1890 National Scholarship Program here on campus, working with students on internships and careers with the USDA. And I'm also help with community engagement and with the College of Ag Extension program as well. Being transparent has been rough. It's been a rough start with the executive orders that have come down from our current administration, but we still have a lot of important work to do. And that's what I'm here to present to you today. Just this week, unfortunately, I'm sad to announce that we have suspended the 1890 scholarship program, and it's been very disheartening. I have 22 scholars right now on campus that I'm taking care of, keeping their employment and making sure that their tuition and books are covered. But as of this year, we will, the program has been suspended. We had over 200 applicants already in the pipeline. And until we get everything worked out with our administration, we will not be able to take any new scholars for this year. And that it's been hard. It's been challenging to navigate through this, but we're going to get through it. We have a new confirmed Secretary of Agriculture, Ms. Brooke Rollins. She seems to be a pretty good advocate of youth programs, and she's been a longstanding FFA supporter. And our hope is that she will continue the 1890 USDA scholarship program. It's been a rewarding opportunity for students interested in careers in agriculture, and we've had a lot of strong leaders come from this program. So this week we're busy advocating to continue the program. It's been longstanding for decades, and it's been life-changing to say the least. So just keep all federal employees in your prayers right now. We certainly could use them. But like I said, they can try to reduce our force, but as long as Jessica and I and others are here, we are going to continue to do the work, provide resources that are available, and provide technical assistance. And I appreciate Jessica's presentation. She hit a lot of important points there. The first step is with FSA, getting your farm serial number. As a beginning farmer, you want to make sure that you have that in place so that you get access to programs that are available. We want to make sure that your farm operation is sustainable, that you're able to recover from any disasters. All of that begins at your service center in your county. Get your farm serial number in place. We're here to help you with the record keeping. Yes, there are a lot of forms and they do appear intimidating, but we have personnel here to help you get through those forms. This is free service. We also have extension offices, cooperatives, community organizations that can help you with the technical assistance to get through those forms. So I appreciate Jessica's presentation in regards to unlocking access to federal programs to help you stay in business. No matter if you have 20 acres, thousands of acres, or a rooftop farmer, we have programs in place to help you stay in business. I'd like to share a video if I could. It's just a testament as to how USDA programs have helped farmers. And, I have to be careful with certain terms now with DEIA, but we have supported limited resource and historically disadvantaged farmers under previous administration. And we still have a lot of that funding that has been critical to keeping our community farms in business. So I would like to share my screen if I could and share a video, a testimony of how USDA programs have helped our producers here in the Southeast region of the United States stay in business. So if I could share my screen, please.
I just made you co-host, so you should be able to.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, are you able to see my screen? Okay, all right,
Yes.
thank you. This video is a producer by the name of Dr. Charles Guidry. He is in Louisiana. As we know, here in the Southeast region in the Delta, we are faced with a lot of perils between hurricanes, flooding along the Mississippi River, and so on. This is Dr. Guidry's testimony as how he's been in business with the
I'm
help of
sorry.
USDA.
I'm sorry. Your screen is not showing up. Is anybody else seeing her screen?
Yes, I am.
I'm
Okay,
not.
I see
Okay,
it.
I'm
you
not. I'm
see
I
seeing
it?
the
don't.
same screen. There you go.
Now I see it.
Now
I,
you got it.
I
You
don't
got
see
it?
it. It just says USDA.
Yes, I'm gonna play it. That's
Okay,
what it's
great.
showing. Okay. 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 I'm gonna go ahead and play this video now. Can everybody hear okay?
My name is Charles Guidry, Dr. Charles Guidry.
Yes.
I'm foreman in 2 parishes, Vermilion Parish and Lafayette Parish, a total of 3,100 acres. We do everything just about on our own. We cut our cane, I haul my cane, I plant. We keep everything in-house. And I've been doing this now for almost 50 years, 40-some years. I think I'm the 4th generation. I left the farm when I was real young. I never thought I would come back to it. I taught for about anywhere from 13 to 15 years. I got drafted into the Army. I went to Vietnam, spent my time 2 years out there. Then I was eligible for the GI Bill. After I got out of the service, I went to Texas. To TSU, I got my master's out there. Every time I would apply, when an assistant principal job would come by, or they would go and get somebody else saying they had more experience than me. And the salary in my time was only $285 a month in 1968, 69. So it kind of got me frustrated. And I had said earlier I would never come back to farming. Most blacks was leaving the farm. I decided to come back and started a farm of my own. I got started through FSA. USDA on FSA is a starting point for you. Then I met Ms. Guidry, and she was reared up on the farm. I think I fought with what? Cotton, corn, soybeans, and cattle. I think we started with 50 or 60 acres, 2 or 3 tractors, and from that it blew up. I mean, I got bigger and bigger, and right now we are up to 3,100 acres of cane, and then me and Wanda own 1,260 acres of land. We own a third of what we farm. I'm one of the board of directors on American Sugarcane League. I'm on the board at one of the sugar mills, and the farm been pretty good for me. I advise all farmers, especially new farmers, to buy crop insurance. In our business, we're working against Mother Nature, and it helps you, give you peace of mind. You know, you got a whole lot of stuff at risk. It works in your favor if anything happens. Not only in your favor, it helps you to qualify for some of the federal programs. They look for it all. I mean, you never know when you're gonna need. Last year was a bad year. Because of the drought, we made a half of a crop. I'm at 85,000 tons. I only made 40. You can compute that against the bills. And the crop insurance fill in the other money to survive. And that's why it's important to have crop insurance. The new thing came through the crop insurance, if a hurricane, and I bought that policy. And that was a big improvement on the crop insurance. I bought into that, and it paid off. It helped, it filled in the gap. That's what insurance is about, is to fill in the gap. That's the way I look at it. And if you got a little setback, if you don't have crop insurance, you're in trouble. But if you have insurance, it'll fill in the gap.
Okay, stop that video. Okay, so as Dr. Gidry was stating, the starting point is FSA. That is the starting point. And over the years and through the decades, he was able to unlock multiple programs with the USDA, including federal crop insurance, which helped fill in the gap and prevent him from taking a substantial loss. So it is important that you visit your local USDA service center when you're beginning your farming and get that farm serial number, get your forms in place, and it can unlock all type of access to other programs to help you stay in business, which is very imperative with what we deal with here in the Southeast region. Also, too, with working with Alcorn State Extension Office, we have several producer meetings lined up here in the next coming months that I wanted to give you the information for. We have some farmer roundtable meetings that are coming up that are going to be in person, and I'll share that in the chat. Just a second here. There we go. And it's in the chat there if everyone can see that. So if you're interested in coming out just to learn more about any questions or concerns regarding what USDA still has available, what resources are there, how the extension offices can assist you, please come out. And if you don't see any local meetings in your area, please let us know. We'll be happy to add your county to our list of roundtable meetings. So our extension office is doing an outstanding job providing technical assistance to our livestock producers, to our specialty crop growers, to our row croppers. Anything that you need, you can reach out to the Alcorn Ag Extension Office as well, and we'll be happy to come out and assist you. And that's really all I had. If you haven't, I'll put my contact information in the chat here as well. I'm Kamika Gray, liaison at Alcorn State University. Here to assist you and connect you with resources with not just USDA, but to Alcorn State University as well. Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, I asked Miss Gray in the chat if she don't mind sharing her contact info down at Alcorn State University. Thank you.
Absolutely. Here's my contact information. Feel free to reach out. That is my direct cell phone number there.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you all. Thanks for having me.
Great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. If anyone would like that video, I'll put a link to it in here also.
Please, thanks.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, there it is. Thank you all.
Thank you so much for your presentation and for the information that was imparted. The next speaker is owner and operator of Gibson Mechanical, Mr. Winston Gibson.
Good morning, everyone. How are you all?
Great.
Great.
That's great.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, again, it is an honor to be asked to participate in this meeting. my asks were to sort of touch on a little bit on the Gibson's legacy on our farm, which started with my grandfather, Jim Gibson, and transferred to my father, Fred Gibson, which now is, I guess I could say it's my responsibility. Being the youngest of 17, I've sort of been drafted into doing it, but with my sons helping me, it hadn't been as bigger of a challenge as I thought it would be. When my dad was in his prime, he did a lot of cotton farming. My grandfather also, but since he's been deceased, right before he deceased, he retired, and we started raising Angus cows and on the farm and keeping everything going with that. It's about 160 some acres that we run over 150 Angus cows on, and my son's has been a big help in doing that. And how did that happen? We, I tried to get them involved not only on the farm, but at Gibson Mechanical here. This is just like the farm. It's a family-owned and operated farm as well as business. My 3 sons, 2 daughters, and a wife all work on the farm as well as in the business. Gibson Mechanical in July would be established 42 plus years, and we've done such projects as the renovation of the convention center downtown Memphis, doing now the Brooks Museum on Front Street, and just to name a few. But it all started with the work ethic that my father instilled in me, and I instill it in my sons and daughters. It's a team effort. It's not just Winston Gibson way or no way. I let them make decisions, let them bring ideas to the table, because they are the next generation. And I hope you all have children, if you have farms, that you can make them as a team member instead of just your child, because they are the next generation. They are the legacy. If it's going to live on, you have to train them up now. As you grow, they need to grow and not be afraid, in my opinion, not be afraid to make decisions when you are not there, to make, again, decisions when you are not there. So it just making them how I do it, how it worked for me over the years is again, make them a team effort. When when we do carry beef to the market, they get a part of that revenue. You know, it's, again, you get out of it what you put in it, so to speak. And if they're not getting nothing out of it and they see you getting everything, putting it in your pocket, there's no interest to them. To also keep them involved, each year we carve out a couple of steers to what we carry them to the market. And each one of my sons and daughters get some beef to keep them from having to go to the grocery store so much to get that. It's you know, just the things that we do to just, my wife and I do, just to try to keep everyone involved, keep the morale that, hey, this is a team effort instead of just mom and dad doing this and go from there, because we have to teach our children to carry on what our fathers and forefathers have left us to do. I tell them you have to build on it. You have it. They worked so hard and gave so much to be able to, for us to have what we have, and you just need to build on it. You know, it's so different now than when it was when my dad was alive. You accomplish so much more. So, you know, to help the legacy to continue, we have a very structured, what it is, trust that names each child responsibility, what they will inherit after I'm gone home and the mother's gone home, the whole 9 yards. And it's so many times, and I've heard about so many families don't prepare their families to, and then when you leave off the scene, they doing more fighting amongst themselves than carrying on the legacy that you built and left for them. So this is my story as to what worked for us. I mean, again, we spilled over from, they've been in this, my son is less than 50 years old, and we've been working together for over 30-something years at Gibson Mechanical as well as on the farm. I have my grandson just walked in my office. We making a big tie-in at Bass Pro downtown Memphis at the Pyramid yesterday and today. He's right out there in the thick of things. That's how they learn. I always tell my children, don't run your children away while they're young and want to learn. Because sooner or later, they're going to go away. And it's just biblical. It just go back to the Bible days. Teacher, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. So that's sort of my motto as to how we, along with the good Lord and his blessing, how we have been so blessed here to keep my father's legacy going all of these years. That's sort of the long and short of it. If you all have any questions or comments, feel free.
When is office hours, Mr. Gibson?
I'm sorry?
When is office hours? I need more of that training. I need more of that lesson right there.
Man, I'm in here at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I leave when I think I've gotten to a point to where I need to leave and pick it up the next day. It's no office hours. It's
All right,
that goes for my sons and daughters. It's whatever it takes.
I need to come down and hold your coattails so I can get that lesson, drive that lesson into me too, sir. I appreciate listening to that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Anyone else?
I would step in and say, yeah, your testimony is definitely a blessing. And the principle of from can to can't is not something that we hear nowadays among our youth and children that we really need to enforce. You got to do what you have to do to make it work, and you're making it work. So I salute you. My hat's off to you, and to being the man of God that you are, to be able to bring your family involved and keep your children engaged. I'm sure that's a challenge, but you have seen like you have accomplished that, and I just again I salute you on that behalf. Big God bless.
40 years, and you know, I showed them over the years if we as a team make money, they make money. You know, we have a set salary for every one of them here. A couple of them went through school the same way I did to learn the trade, but and others do. Everybody has their own task each and every day.
Mr. Gibson, can I ask you? I'm sorry. Can I ask you? Okay, go ahead.
And at the end of the year, when all the bills are paid, when all the donations are made, when all that, if it's a good profit, they weep in that too.
Good, good. Mr. Gibson, let me ask you something. You said something in your remarks. I want to try to push it to everybody, but I think it'll come good from you since you're there. You said something about a trust. Can you expound on the importance of having a trust? I'm not talking about a will, I'm talking about a trust. Can you expound on that? It seems like you do have that in place.
Well, you know, I in this business, you get chance to, whether you want to or not, get to know attorneys, okay?
Yeah.
So, you know, I asked them, and with all the accomplishments that we've been blessed to do over the past 40 years, how do we protect it as best we can and do it? And, you know, I was talking about a will, but then he said a trust is better, to where you can, it will stand scrutiny, I guess, if you would, when someone find out that you've gone home to get your wings, that they can't take advantage of a situation like that as easily as they can with the will. And you know, I know so many just Black families that when you talk about doing a will or doing a trust or doing something of that nature, they seem to think that all the family members gonna do the right thing. Well, that's the wrong thing to think. If you put on there what you have accomplished and you assign who, what, when, and where, how you want it, while you in sound mind. It's just, and when you gone, you just follow that roadmap that you left behind.
Yeah. Yeah, well, thank you, sir, because I see a lot of land is being lost through probate court and things like that. And I know a trust will help you avoid probate, and maybe you can keep this land into your family a lot longer. So I do want to just throw that in. But thank you so much, sir.
Let me just say this, Mr. King. Again, when I first started this, I said and I told you all I was the youngest of 17. Well, we got my father to make out his will while he was in good sound mind. Now it's just me and one sister, and it was a brother, but he deceased now, that out of all of us that was born and raised on the Gibson farm in Slayton, Mississippi, it just two of us here in the South. Well, what I've done ever since 1995 was make sure all of the taxes that was due at the end of the year or before February is come to me, and I will go up to the tax assessor's office and pay it in my sisters and brothers' names, and they pay us. They pay me and my wife back. Now, you may or may not get paid that way back, but one thing about it, you won't lose your land for $300 or $400 because the taxes is not being paid.
Right. Correct. Great piece of advice, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Gibson. Thank you, Mr. Gibson.
You're welcome. Any other questions? All righty. Thank you all.
Yes, sir. Be blessed.
You all too.
Thank you, Mr. Gibson. I know I was twisting your arms to get you on, but it was well worth the twist. Thank you.
You're welcome. Cause if it was anybody but you, I probably wouldn't, because I've had all types of emails and phone calls and texts that I did not know this would be this long. But again, if you could help someone, I would just hopefully that we did that.
You did.
Yep, you did. Let's hope for my children.
Want to thank Mr. Winston for taking time out of his busy schedule, and he covered a lot, really about the importance of paying your taxes, the importance of passing on a legacy, and setting a plan and succession. So we really greatly appreciate his time and his input. And with that being said, we'll go to our next speaker, Mr. Kenneth Harris, with the Federation of Southern Cooperatives.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me pretty well?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
All right. Good morning. My name is Ken Harris. I am a regional outreach specialist with the Federation of Southern Cooperatives. If you're not familiar with that organization, the Federation of Southern Cooperatives was started in 1969 by a group of Black farmers, landowners, and cooperatives. And since then, they have been helping farmers with cooperative development, land retention, and advocacy since then. So it's a really good organization. I know some of the speakers here are members of co-ops that are part of the Federation of Southern Cooperatives, specifically the Mississippi Division, the Mississippi Association of Cooperatives. A little bit about myself. I've been in farming probably since I was 5 years old. I tell people all the time that I left the farm, went around the world and came back. Started with my grandmother, following her around in the garden, dropping seeds in the hole. When I was 5 years old, you know, had no idea what I wanted to do when I graduated from high school. I just wanted to do something. I went to the military, went all around the world, came back. The whole time, you know, I was farming, producing, and from microgreens to mushrooms to tomatoes, to eggs and chicken meat. But I didn't attend any of the 1890 schools like some of my friends and coworkers. I think in hindsight, I would have been a perfect fit at Tuskegee, but you know, still not too late. But I've been in the ag world, like I said, for about 40 years. Right now, I've got my own farm. I have business that, you know, around farming and homesteading, because a lot of people I noticed a couple of years ago started wanting to move in that direction. So I live ag all day, every day. With the Federation right now, the program, one of the programs that we're pushing is a herd health initiative. It is geared mostly toward small ruminant and cattle. There's myself and another gentleman, Terrence Bell. We're traveling all the states that are within the Federation of Southern Cooperatives, from Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina. We do farm visits, and to kind of piggyback off of what this thing do, and we'll highlight the farmers to get that thing that gets asked. We do give assistance with like some of the documentation. I'm not going to fill it out for you, but I'll help you fill it out. I know the feeling. I hate filling out documentation. I had to sweet talk my wife and filling out all my forms. So we do help with that. But when we come out, one of the things we're going to be doing is kind of assessing. And even though this herd health initiative is geared towards specifically, like I said, cattle and small ruminants, you know, your sheep and goats, I'll look at everything, you know, because it's an official site visit. I'm going to look, if you're looking to be a producer and you've got concerns about irrigation, or you've got concerns about water retention on your land, I'll write all that up. And being a regional outreach specialist, I'll turn that into the Mississippi office, the MAC office, and they'll do follow-up. And I'll probably do some follow-up as well. With some of the fallout of the current state of the administration, some of the things he wanted to do are not possible, not feasible. So I'm going to be leaning heavily on some workshops, a lot of workshops. So some things that I have noticed from visiting with farmers, as well as topics that maybe some farmers might have ideas of things that they would like to know. Like on the beef side, I noticed, I went to a workshop and we did some training on assisting calving, you know, so if there's a stuck calf, how to actually pull that calf. I think that's a good thing for some cattle producers to have, as well as on the small ruminant side. Things like FOMACHA training and understanding how to do that, you know, what it means for the parasite load, and how to tie that into the body condition of the animals to see how the animals are doing. But the herd health is really important because it's for on a productivity standpoint. The more animals, the healthy animals there are, the more, for one, it's going to affect your bottom line. The more money you're going to get for those animals, you're going to be able to grow your herd instead of having to buy other animals to replace animals that are sick, or got sick and didn't make it. So the goal of this talk is kind of to go through some things with herd health. One of the first things that I always talk about with herd health is when you select your animals, you got to select really good genetics. I know people go to sale barns, go to auctions to get animals, but it's not the best place to get the animals. A lot of times, those places are dumping grounds. There are places where you can look to seek some good genetics, be it other farmers who just have a surplus, or actually people who are into breeding. So you don't necessarily have to have registered, but you really need to have some high quality stock. I was in a workshop in Northern Alabama this week, and one of the extension agents, and she kept saying, like, basically, if you've got an animal that's no good, take it to sell barn. If it's got eye cancer, if it's got bad teats, if it's got whatever, and that just, I already knew that was not the greatest place, but just to hear an extension agent kind of basically say, yeah, go, you got animals that are no good for you, just dump them at the sale barn. So sale barns and the auctions aren't great places for that. The next thing is going to be your nutrition. I know there's a saying, if you're in the cattle, you think you're a cattle farmer, but you're really a grass farmer, because the better the quality of grass and forage you can grow, the better your animals are going to thrive, and also the less money you're going to spend. Because you could have a terrible pasture, but you're going to feed them animals something. So you're going to buy hay, or either you're going to grow good grass, or you're going to buy hay. And the most cost effective choice is to grow some good grass. With cattle, on the nutrition side, they need mostly good forage, some minerals, and depending on what type of product you're trying to present, sometimes some grain, whether you're trying to do grain finished or grass finished. With your small ruminants, they're going to need just quality forage, some good minerals, and for your goats, you're going to need, they're going to need a good amount of copper. For your sheep, they're the opposite; they don't need as much copper. And you're going to need plenty of good, clean water. The next thing is shelter. Have for your cattle, they don't need much. They just need windbreaks, because everybody's been driving down the road and seeing cattle out in the pasture, and it's pouring down raining. But they just need some windbreaks. Small ruminants to have a shelter. So something simple. It could be just a lean-to. Most of my shelters for my personal small ruminants, they're just built from scratch. It gets the job done. It keeps this on ground that is high and dry. It keeps them, excuse me, it keeps them dry. It keeps the hooves dry, because you definitely don't want animals to be standing in water, because you're going to start to have. And that also goes back to, especially when you're getting into goats. Certain goats aren't great for this area because they have a tendency.
we may be having a internet problem with Mr. Harris. If he doesn't come back in a
Yeah,
few
I
moments.
think my internet dropped a little bit. Can you guys hear me again?
We can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, I think we're having some internet issues this morning here at the Federation. If the wind blows too hard, the internet gets kind of shaky. Um, I think I left off on the shelter part of that. Um, so let me push along before I have another issue. Disease prevention is another good thing to look at for your health. Vaccines for people who want to implement vaccines into their practice. There's things for cattle. There's things for small ruminant. You also want to look at parasite management. So there's worms for cattle, and also you have to worry about the fleas and the ticks, because if you have a fly problem, you could eye infections with your cattle. Small ruminants, they're big. That's the big thing. You've got the barber pole worm, and that's the biggest concern with them. They get into the gastrointestinal system of your small ruminant, your goats and your sheep. They cut small holes and they drink, and each one of those worms. Yeah, so I was able to listen to everybody's presentation and didn't have any problems until I started talking. All right, so I'm gonna push through this because I seem to be having some internet problems. Stress management is another thing, just basically with your animals, just handling them properly. Not using a bunch of cattle prods and on your sheep. I mean, on any of your animals, and bruising them the meat. When you're using the chutes and things, kind of just move slow. There's a saying, uh, slow is fast. Basically, the slower you move, the animals are going to respond better to you, and they're not going to give you much trouble going through that chute, especially if you also, when you get your shooting and whatever equipment that you're going to be working those animals with, don't wait until you need to work those animals. Kind of just, if you're out in the field and you're around them, run them through that so they get familiar with all of that. And record keeping is also fantastic. If you've got any of those animals, you should be using your ear tags so that you can, whenever you do anything with any of those animals, you're putting in your records. You can annotate properly which animal was treated, what was given, and that way you're not trying to retain that information in your head. That's gonna, as you get more, that's going to be less of a headache. So basically, prevention is a lot cheaper than treatment. And I'm going to just close on that because I am having some internet difficulties. Does anybody have any questions? All right. So I'm going to put my.
It looked like you had a question in the chat. Do you feel that lambs are more in demand?
Yeah. So when you're looking at, so let me bring me back up a little bit. It doesn't matter whether you're going to be producing meat or produce. You have to figure out the market. And when it comes to small ruminants, yes, lambs are what's going to sell. You just have to find the market in your area, and it's kind of seasonal. So there's markets for lamb that are going to fall around Easter, that are going to fall around the summer holidays, that are going to fall around Christmas. You just have to, and each one of those markets is different, whether it's going to be Hispanics or whether it's going to be Muslims. And they also are going to want a different lamb. One community might want an intact male that's 50 pounds. Another community might want either used ewe lambs, female lambs, or male lambs that are castrated at 45 pounds. So it kind of just depends on what your market is looking for. And really, before we even get into the herd health aspect of it, you need to be doing your feasibility study. You need to be figuring out your market, because a lot of people do it. They'll just say, I want to raise I want to raise goats, I want to raise sheep, and they just start raising them, and then they can't sell them, and then they get discouraged because, well, everything isn't, if you build it, they will come. Some things you have to do a little bit of work for. All right, is that the only question? All right,
Well,
so
I want to thank you for your comment on that, because it's very, very important. Like you said, just being able to find, doing your due diligence and be able to find out how you're going to sell these animals and what you're going to do with them, because you can just keep them. The next thing you know, the fox has been got them. So you just got to do something that's different and think ahead. So that's what I've been seeing. I had a lot of requests for them, but again, having requests and no sales is not going to work. So I hear what you're saying. Make sure that you got something in paper that they're going to be able to move these products.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Even the word of mouth is great, but you if somebody's saying I want to have 10 lambs, for this, I want something in paper, and I'm probably going to want to work out a deposit so that you got some skin in it. That person has some skin in the game. So I'm just not raising these animals, and all of a sudden you change your mind, or I just I don't hear from you again when it's time for you to pick these animals up. And I got to figure out how to eat them, how to sell them, or put them in my freezer. That's and I'm and to kind of piggyback off what Mr. Gibson is saying, I've got three 17-year-olds and a 13-year-old, and they're all pushing them all into ag. And so that's one of the things that I've been pushing them to do, is that they don't like. I'm trying to show them how to, there's ways to make money in agriculture, not necessarily just, a lot of the hard work. I show them some of the things that are, more technical, like that, like using the drones, for agriculture, whether it's going to be spraying or whether you're using it for your herd management, whether you want to be using it to find some lost lambs, or, a separated female from the flock. But that's one of the things that I push them hard on. When you, my daughter, she makes goat's milk soap and lotions and things from our bee products, and the milk from our goats. And before, if somebody says that, hey, I want to order a case of this or a case of that, they need to have that in writing, and you take a deposit. So you always want to have a plan for your products before you produce it. Yeah. So I will put my contact information in the chat again. If you have a farm and you've got some animals, you've got some herd health concerns, myself or like I said, my counterpart Terrence, we'll come out to your property, look at whatever you have going on. And even though we're kind of in a freeze on some of the assistance from FSA and USDA and NRCS, I can still come out and take a look and give you some ideas of what programs, what practices there are that you may qualify for, so you have an idea of what to ask for when you go to these offices. So I will leave my give my contact information. In the chat, there is a question about information about the Rural Training and Research Center. That is here in Epps, Alabama. I used to be the farm demonstration manager. So we do have demonstration areas. We have a 1 acre garden with we have an area that we're going to be converting into a wash station and a walk-in cooler. That is under construction right now. Also, we're updating our high tunnel with new plastic and some other things. We have a aquaponics um, greenhouse. So it is being updated as well. So that's one of my pet projects. I'm trying to get water flowing through it in the next month so we can use it to do vegetable starts as well as be getting some fish in there by the summer. We have chicken coop. We've got goats, sheep. We're looking to put in more fencing and get cattle here soon. Um, we've got different paddocks set up so that there's different kinds of grazing. I didn't really want to go into that much, but we've got demonstrations of the different, whether it's rotational grazing, whether it's alley crop. We've got all of those different demonstration areas. We have different events and workshops here where we do showcase those. I have, I think, on this Monday coming up here at the Rural Training Center, we've got a nutrition class on for small ruminants. So myself and a couple other outreach specialists, we're going to be, putting on that workshop this coming week, as well as we hope to be getting into some quail as well as rabbits here soon. So basically, a lot of things that the farmers have said they wanted to see. We're demonstrating those things in different ways and showing how it can be done profitably.
Thank you for your presentation and giving information in regards to uh, um, cattle, small ruminants, and general information and more specific. And thank you for putting your contact information in the chat area for those people who are interested in site visits, and maybe even done through Zoom. Please make sure you contact Mr. Harris. We will go on to our next speaker, Mr. Tony Jones. It looks like he's putting his information in the chat box.
It's in there.
Oh, I see. You're on it.
Good morning, everybody. Glad everybody is here. Thank Mississippi, Mid-South Progressive Agriculture for putting on this Saving Rural America conference. So glad. Sorry we couldn't be in person, but we are here. And we just happen to be here. I'm joined with my wife, of course, Dolores, and we are Mississippi Sustainable Specialty Crop Growers Association. Now, Alliance, that's right, Alliance, baby. And what I really wanted to make sure that people understand is what that means. Like we farm in Mississippi. We're sustainable farmers, first off. We grow naturally on our farm of Chula Homes Garden. And specialty crop is a real designation with the USDA. We are specialty crop growers. That's what we do, and we want to be in alliance. We want to be in alliance with everybody on here and all the farmers in the Mid-South and around the country that have the same ideas as, that we share interests, the same interest. I also put in the chat to begin with our Wednesday Zoom meetings that we do. Right now, it's set up on Wednesdays. It may be changing because a lot of the churches are going back to their midweek service, and we definitely our believers over here ourselves, and we want more people to participate. So we're talking about uh, what day of the week could we do it that will not interfere in many other organizations getting their information out, because it is definitely a team effort. There's no space in here for for I. There's no space in here for I, no I's. So what we would like to do, what our goal is, we reach out, trying to reach out to all the farmers, make sure that everybody is sharing in on with Natural Resource Conservation Service in our NRCS and the state. And when I say ours, I'm speaking about the state of Mississippi. In our NRCS, we have our leader, Kurt Reeders, is still hanging on. To my knowledge, I hadn't been told anything different. It's still hanging on. And since I've been around agriculture for the last 8 years, I know that his team has been a great resource. Thaddeus Fairley has a great team. He left a great team back behind, as well as Dr. Trina George uh, uh, have you'll set up a great team. Well, what I see that we need to do is spread the word about the benefits of NRCS and where we fit in this. We know that there have been some issues in the past, but now there are certain roadblocks and certain things in place, such as simple as asking for your receipt of service, when you go in there and deal with them. Just the idea that you asked for your receipt of service and did not just get a piece of paper in hand. You stopped, took time out to read it, to make sure that paper reflected your visit in that office the way you felt. Sometimes the way you feel does not get relayed on the information. I got a type of receipt of service that you came in to talk to me because you're not satisfied with the service that you're receiving. See, sometimes you have to do it that way. If you and we're here to help facilitate that. Hopefully nobody's having a problem, but for those with issues, hey, we can maybe help smooth some things over. But if you don't know what programs you want, because you haven't mapped out your farm plan, we could assist you and talk to you about that, if no more than being that resource as to saying, hey, get with Ken over there at with the Federation, because he could help you do so and so, or contact Miss Coleman, Reverend Coleman, because she's a great resource for something. Last night we had the privilege of Dr. Cindy Ayers Elliott joining in on our Zoom last night, and I mean, it just really helped drive some things home. Her expertise and her experience just showed up and showed out, and we were so grateful to have that. I made a few notes, guys. I'm just working there. Teamwork. Oh, we're here to push teams, true teams. Okay. Once we got your farm number, Jessica explained how to get that farm number. Then we could come in and help you get some practices and services through NRCS. We need you to start looking at your organizations, your local, look all across the state, because we all work together, but encourage our farmers to get in with your local organizations and strengthen those organizations, work together. There was another organization, Keith Benson, he said, cluster farms, okay? Build your own clusters, collaborations, and work amongst ourselves so that we could feed our communities. We could create our own community supported agriculture boxes. Somebody in that organization, in that group, is going to, if they don't know how to do a soil test, somebody's going to know somebody. Hey, I remember Benny Brown over there in Jonestown was talking about how to do soil testing. When your crop come up, so we're not leaving so much of our food in the field, we need to know that, oh, who was that building that processing plant? See, it's a we thing. We gonna come together. We're gonna make this situation that we think we in, that some of us may think is for our bad. We're gonna turn that situation into a good, you see, because now we gonna take care of our own community. So we need to talk about getting GAP on Wednesday nights. We're going to be talking about these things. Last night we talked about the FOTG, the Field Office Technical Guide. We went to the website, saw how to read in on the FOTG. What's about the FOTG? I'd never heard of it. Well, when you're filling out your EQIP application, You need to understand what's in the FOTG so you can get all your supporting practices. You ever heard of somebody say they didn't rank high enough? You know, because they didn't have all these supporting practices already written out on their equip application, you know, so you don't get the points for all these different things. These are the things that we're going to be reviewing on Wednesday night. Then we're going to talk about getting I want to be able to buy your produce. I want to be able to bring it into the process plant and put the first value add on it, the first process on it. So then we can turn around and offer that to our school, GAP trained, GAP audited. Mississippi Department of Ag come out and get it. They have resources to help with the cost of that. And then we need food safety modernization. Mississippi State University, you know, they do a great food safety modernization program. Dr. Warren Silver, and he's waiting on us to say, hey, I got 10, I got 12 that want to go through that. Yeah, baby. He emailed yesterday, you know, where your people at, you know, so we can get these trainings underway. We can't get behind the 8 ball. And why are we going through these exchanges of weather that's keeping some of us out of from cropping? We need to get these items out the way. This is the time to start crop planning. You know, what are you going to grow? Who are you going to sell it to? You know, we know that there's several programs around the state that assist us in purchasing and processing the Alcorn State Vegetable Processing Plant. The plant manager, Percy Baldwin, wonderful person. Get over there, get to know Mr. Baldwin and see what services that Alcorn State University have out here for us. Mississippi Association of Cooperatives. Get in there and find out what MAC is doing. Join the associations and let's strengthen our organizations that's already around. But I'm not going to hold you. Our communications, we need to collectively sit back and talk about our communications. They have all these voice over IP platforms now that I could pay $5 or $6 a month for a number. But then that will unify our communications. How do I know? How do I know what the farmer down in let's use Mr. Burkett, Ben Burkett? How would I know what Mr. Burkett have on hand if it's not being communicated through to all of us? How could I don't know every organization in MAC, but I need to know a farmer who has chickens. So if you're logged in to your account and in the data points you got that you raise chickens, if I go and do a global search, now I can find all our farmers who's raising chickens, who has eggs. Eggs the other day was $7.99 a dozen, by the way, you know, in Memphis, Tennessee. So we are Tony Jones and Dolores Jones. Our farm is Chulahoma's Garden. We're in Holly Springs, Mississippi, a little town called Chulahoma out in the county. We are also Mississippi Sustainable Specialty Crop Growers Alliance. And we're here to help you. If you don't know the answer, if you don't know what you're thinking about and just need to talk through something, call me. Let's talk about it. Let's find out what area you're in. I probably have an email out for you before we get off the phone, you know, to somebody in your area to help you. Okay. I posted our number, our contact information is in the chat. That's 662-484-3260. The email address is there. We on Wednesday nights. That link right there hopefully doesn't change. Okay. And we're working with Pastor King, Pastor Brown, Benny Brown over there, Miss Coleman, Miss Carolyn Jones, Dr. Ayers down in Jackson, Miss Samantha Green. We need everybody. We want to plug in with what you're doing so that we all can get the best benefit, the biggest bang for our buck. So that's a little bit about us and what we're doing. Sorry about that background noise. There's a question. Oh, hang on one second. Are these trainings local Mississippi area, March County, DeSoto County? These trainings with the schools and different services are all around. One thing about now Alcorn State University is our go-to. We got Miss Carolyn Banks down there. I don't know who's going to take Dr. Miles' place, but if you know Dr. Miles, she's still out here. She's a resource. But first, we're going to look at there. But we're going to go to Mississippi State University extension portal. Need you to register there because some of these classes we have to go over there and get that training so that we can get the Food and Drug Administration's approved. You know, food safety, things of that nature. But it's all a collaborative effort. They're land grant schools, you know. So, and Ms. Coleman is always sending out information about training. We try to get as much out as well, and it's just all over Mississippi. Any questions? Thank you for your time. And I know we got some people following us behind us that's going to come on and do other great jobs. So I'm just going to sit out and listen. Thank you so very much. And if any way we can help you, let us know.
Thank you so much. And Mr. Jones did mention too, you can easily access your local extension office and they're give great information, and that's also where you get your soil testing done also. Our next speaker will be Mr. Howard Gunn, president of SEED Inc. Is Mr. Gunn on the line? Is Mr. Gregory Hudson on the line?
Standing by.
We'll just move you forward.
Okay, great. Good afternoon, everyone. This has been a very informative session. I just want to thank the Mid-South Progressive Agriculture Group and the Saving Rural America Conference Group for inviting me to participate in this monumental event. I echo what Mr. Jones was elaborating on about teamwork. So I am the executive director for Vanguard OTE Consortium. We are headquartered out of San Antonio, Texas, but I am a native Mississippian. I grew up in Jackson. And we were blessed to be selected to be awarded a contract from one of those highly visible grants out there, a $3.3 billion grant. And our area of responsibility is the state of Mississippi. Currently, we have over 190 producers in our Smart Agro Pilot program. And this program I'll get into a little later. I would like to just share some background information about myself. First, having grown up in Mississippi, attended Lanier High School, which is a historical high school in the state of Mississippi. Was fortunate enough to get an athletic scholarship to Jackson State University. After Jackson State, I enlisted in the military, but retired after 21 years as a major. Did some conventional, unconventional work, and served as a commander twice. I retired in 2003, but while on active duty, the Lord gave me an order to begin separation protocols to start a business, Genesis Concepts and Consultants, which my wife and I, we were blessed to be the stewards of that company, now going on 27 years. And we were very successful because of grace, humbleness, and God's innate ability to allow us to create value for all our clientele and those who were put under our mentorship apparatus. During the growth of Genesis, he began to tug on me to give back to the community, and we started in 2014 Vanguard OTE Consortium. And from there, we focused on capacity building. In the city of San Antonio, we started off with at-risk kids. They asked us to target some of the most difficult elementary schools that were getting F ratings, and we welcome that. And using our program, Becoming a Better You, with third graders and above, we turned F schools into exemplary schools in 2 years. And we went from 1 campus to 8 campuses within that 2-year period of time. So it became I became addicted to wanting to help with capacity building. And I had a friend, Dr. David Powell, veterinarian that I grew up with, asked me if I would look into coming home doing some work. And he showed me this opportunity with the USDA. And from there, we submitted a proposal, got selected, and we have begun to establish a network in over 40 counties in Mississippi right now. And many of the talking points that Mr. Gibson, Mr. Jones, and others have spoken about, the 2 ladies from the USDA spoke about, that's what we do in our program. So the Smart Agro Pilot is a program that's designed to, 1, help a new producer or a beginning producer understand that farming is a business. And secondly, you have to be well versed in soil health and understand other environmental factors that impact your end state or profitability. And so what we do, we have, after they go through an eligibility and screening process, which anyone that comes into our program, they have to be registered with the FSA. So all the steps that the young lady talked about with the FSA registration process, before we will proceed to a contract with you, we will validate every bit of it, and we will ask you to either provide us with a farm data report and a subsidiary report, a 2047 and a 1026. If those documents don't exist, we will guide you to the FSA and say, you have to do these steps first. And we'll put you on an order of merit list, and then we will begin our eligibility process with you. So if you come to us with those documents, we will put those into electronic record for you. And this is where our program becomes very unique. We have 2 types of incentives. We have a technical bundle and we have a funding bundle. The technical bundle is a Surface Pro 10 computer. It gets issued to you. We hand receipt it to you, but you own it. You don't give it back. Well, the reason why we fought for that for the producers in Mississippi, because of the importance of being connected through a network of peers, which we have established with our program. But more importantly, so you can do your research and run your business effectively by having access to some subscriptions that we also provide that deals with soil health, that deals with a learning management system where we will expose you to conservation practices that we are approved to award you incentive dollars to. Those 4 practices are 340 cover crop, 345 reduced tillage, 528, which is prescribed grazing, and 590, which is nutrient management. We deal with specialty crops. We deal with the general row crop, soybeans and corn, and we also deal with ranchers. And with the ranchers, when the gentleman was talking about you grow hay when you have cattle, we found that to be very, very true because we use instead of fertilizers, we encourage our producers to reduce fertilization use and consider adopting a microbial soil enhancer. And this microbial soil enhancers from test results has shown that when you enhance the biodiversity of the soil and you create where the catalytic processes can occur in the biome of the soil, which is a living organism just like our body, then what's growing out of that soil is going to be more nutritious. One of the ways that we have validated that is we test like sweet potatoes, watermelons. There's a process called the bricks test. And the producers that have grown those specialty crops, that if you want to see if you're buying something very sweet and worth paying for, then we can show you those test results. And they have been scoring high. We have one producer that sold out of his watermelons in 2 months. The previous year, it took 3 months to do. But last year, he did it in 2 months, and they came back for more. And since then, he has established a agreement with a distributor, which we are assisting him with getting all his documentation together, which he has done that, his certifications, his GAP required documents. So in this technical bundle, we bring that to the table. And as a business owner myself, I know the importance of having your business structure in good operational standards. And the records management that we facilitate in our program to make sure that producers are engaged with us by visiting with them in what we call our customer relationship management process. They will hear from us every month, every last one of our producers. And that's something that we manage very closely. The other bundle is the incentive fund bundle. Based on the acreage that you enroll into our pilot program, which we will verify using your farm data report to see how much you actually have, a person can qualify up to $17,000. So there's a young lady in this meeting right now. She's in our program, and she can vouch for me on that one. So going back to something that Mr. Jones was talking about, the networking piece. This is one of the pieces that is near and dear to me because it's important that we take advantage of this pause to get our mindset focused for the new horizon that's going to approach us. Several things that we have done to position our producers is helping them prepare for marketability, marketing their produce. And our program uses a modern regenerative farming framework. So we focus on conservation practices that can really enhance your soil. If you enhance your soil, you're going to enhance your crops. You enhance your crops, you're going to enhance the value that it can bring to you and make you a happy person. We also have so I talk about our team composition now. So you'll see that we have a capacity building framework. So we have Alcorn State University Extension. They're our flagship 1890 land grant school. We also have Mississippi Valley State, and we have Jackson State. We have Fox 40 News, along with Tougaloo College as a tier 2 under them. And Fox 40, they do all of our commercials. So we produce and we develop and produce commercials. So we market our program. And after this pause, we'll be marketing our produce category, and it's called eco produce. It's not organic, but it's not traditional either. It is an interim way of a beginning farmer that's going from traditional and want to get to organic. Well, our eco produce certification program, which is embedded in our Smart Agro pilot, can help you get there. And we have a way to show how it can compete with an organic farmer at a more competitive price range. So we also have a microbiome analysis company. They specialize in looking at the soil and looking at what's in the soil. All the nutrients and microbial animals that are good for the soil and the ones that are bad for the soil. And we help our producers with their schedule operation and implementation strategy that they have to demonstrate in our program, how to use soil testing to improve their outcomes and the importance of those soil tests. So we do a treated control area in our, what we call the B crop trial. It can last from 4 to 6 months, maybe longer if no emergencies come up or things beyond our control happens. But we try to get it started like now with green up and go all the way through harvesting. We also open it up for winter planting as well, as we had producers that are just coming out of the winter phase. So we try to create a model that can match the Mississippi growers' planting and harvesting rotations. We also have a veterinary expert on our team, Dr. Powell. And we have the microbial soil enhancer, biosoil enhancers. They are a member of our team. Vanguard serves as the program management and business operation outside of our project team. And we also integrate our mentorship program into this program, which is an added value that we do. We offer up additional online courses in our LMS to our producers. So if they want to expand their knowledge to be more competitive in the Industry 5.0 space, which is where we are right now, then they have that autonomy and flexibility to explore and go beyond the project requirements. So I summed all that up. I didn't want to show a PowerPoint presentation and have people going to sleep because this has been a day without lunch. So I will pause here to see if anyone has any questions.
Looks like you have one question in the chat box.
Yes, I will give you contact information. Let me just do that now.
Also, it seems like you're well established. Do you have opportunities for people to come and view what are you doing, especially in technical or training aspects?
So this is for you or for just anybody in general?
Well, since I say it's for everybody in general, but really mainly me.
Okay. Well, when I post this to the chat, you can give Kanisha, who is the technical manager for our program, this program that we have. You can definitely reach out to her, or I can send this and then I can put my contact information in here as well. And you can call me directly.
Okay,
And I can tailor the conversation to your needs.
there you go. That's what I need. Point on instructions. You know, some specific questions to some specific answers.
Right.
That's what I
I understand. I
Okay.
understand. I understand. So you will have it in just a second, sir. And
Sound like you have a heart for young people too. It sounds like your program is really captured that, and
well,
I think that's really great.
I do, because my concern goes back to what Mr. Gibson talked about, and I think you asked that question about succession.
Yes.
A lot of our producers, we found out, did not have succession plans. And so that's one of the things that I emphasize, because our vision is a cross-generational vision. So we understand the importance of passing knowledge on to the next generation. And right now we have a challenge with young people understanding that you can't envision farming like you see on TV, which is the legacy way of things were done. Or they may have grown up using traditional farming practices and techniques, but it's a totally new dynamics going on now with precision farming. The gentleman from the Federation of Southern Cooperatives was talking about drone technology. Those are things that we had an opportunity before the pause. We were going to be bringing in surveillance drones to our producers to show them how they can minimize, driving from their home out to their field. Especially, we found that some of our producers have fields in other locations. Well, if they were within range, they can send a drone out there to scout out what's going on, especially after heavy rain, to see if, they have good soil hydration going on. And if they have water pooling, then that's an early indicator that, hey, you may want to consider cover crops. When you finish harvesting, put a cover crop on there that has deep root penetration that can now allow the soil to absorb more water and stay out of that condition of flooding. So it's those kind of techniques that we look at, and we want to make sure that young people can understand. You don't envision a mule or being on a tractor unless you really have to be on one. And if you have a tractor, it's going to be a little more modern than what you see in Hollywood. So those kind of the myths that we were trying to disconnect with, and really getting into the elementary schools early with our apprenticeship program.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. To me, all I know is what I see in scripture. And without a vision, the people perish or cast off restraints. Our young people don't have a vision for anything other than basketball or rapping, which is, entertainment. And that's as far as they go. So they're casting off restraints, and they're doing everything they can out there in the streets. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense until we can show them the vision and how they can change, I think we got the potential. We're doing it. This is one of the best operations I've seen, avenues that I've seen lately that can get young people, that we can get them out and start with them at an early age, like you're saying, elementary, and getting them out now. Man, we may be able to point them towards college or school or business, entrepreneurship.
Well, that's the goal with us, is to help not only the young, but those of middle age and our, what I call our patriarchs and matriarchs in agriculture, to understand we're business people. You know, so if we are business people, then we got to look at, you know, like stacked enterprise models. You know, not just have just one type of crop, but have multiple crops that you can use as contingencies. And we show people how to develop strategies, business strategies, very quickly in doing that. And how we start is aligning to some of those prerequisites that the USDA has. Like in a farm plan, well, in our program, you're gonna have a scheduled operation and a simplified conservation plan. So if they ask you, and if you go out there, another equip program and say, what have you done lately? Our producer will be able to bring up a PDF file that shows everything that they did and accomplished, to include receipts, you know, how they implemented and how they structured, how they were going to do this implementation pilot, to show their business knowledge in their acquisition to be able to successfully complete any equip program that the USDA has out there.
Mm-hmm. Great. I definitely got your number. Don't forget my name.
I won't.
I'll give you a call. I think we got a few things in common, so let's see what.
I got you, Mr. King.
I got you.
Yep,
Appreciate
I got you. Yep.
I have a question, sir. Do your company offer services for beginner farmers who have a track number and who have a farmer track number that want to grow organic vegetables and fruits that can help with soil testing?
That you just described that program.
Great. Well,
So
I
that's a
will-
yes.
Okay, excellent. So I will most definitely keep your number. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Okay.
And I have a question for you as well, Mr. Hudson. That farmer that's growing those watermelons, and he's got his, he's got his gap and everything done. Please share my information with him, because see, I need to know him so I can buy it. Be a buyer from him. We need those types of produce on our farmer, on our.
So Tony, you and I know each other, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know your program.
Yeah,
I know your program. Your whole thing. Absolutely.
Okay.
So you're still intaking farmers? You're still intaking farmers into your program too right now, huh?
Yes.
Great. See, so that we could continue to refer people to your program. That's what I need to know. Are you still intaking? Because we're doing hours on Wednesday nights and we're trying to get everybody into this. Your program could fit them right in and get the services done. We're basically doing the same thing, and we need to communicate a little bit on that.
This guy get the network.
But I want that watermelon farmer to reach out to me if I don't already know him, because we're trying to aggregate produce so that we can have it at all of our farmers markets, you see. So you're working with them, getting the training done. We're doing the same thing. Now we pull it together so we can aggregate and get even more of ours that we don't consume or sell on off into that next channel. So I look forward to further collaboration with you, Greg.
Yep.
Yep.
Hi, this is Evelyn Coleman. I have a question. How are you doing, first of all?
I'm doing well.
We this group had a Smart Way workshop back in whatever year it was, and several of our farmers signed up. And it seems we just need to know what time frame, what's your turnaround for hearing from Smart Way, from Vanguard? how long does the farmer have to wait? Should they be discouraged if they have not heard from Vanguard?
Well, it's unfortunately that they have not heard from us because we've been working that area pretty hard. So here's how I would like to approach this. Now that you have my number, ask those producers to get in touch with me. And the person that was overwatching when we met the first time in Holly Springs, that person has been reassigned. So quality assurance, quality control, and our branding image is very important to me. So yes, we had some hiccups, but they've been resolved. So you can have those individuals contact me directly. And typically, if they have all their documentation that we've been talking about today, we can turn them around in less than 3 weeks.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
This is a good time to do that ramp up right now.
Yeah, I always try to give them an answer like, we got a lot of farmers enrolled, personnel, blah, 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 blah. But in the end, they still want to hear from y'all.
Yeah. So I think the Rogers, Ms. Green, and several others, we just recently got them on board. So if you can get them in touch with me, Ms. Coleman, please have them call me. If I don't pick up, ask them to leave a message, and within 12 hours, they will hear from me.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay.
Excellent presentation, by the way.
Thank you. Any other question? If not, my phone number's there. I will take phone calls from this group. Holly Springs is very near and dear to me. My mom and dad met right there at Mississippi Industrial College, which is now historic. So Samantha knows that story. So that's all I have. Y'all have a blessed day, and look forward to meeting you all somewhere in the near future.
Thank you. It was a great presentation.
Great job. Great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. The next speaker we have is Orlando Ellerby. He is an outreach forester with the Mississippi Forestry Commission.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Great. How you doing?
Good afternoon.
Doing
What's
pretty
up,
good.
Orlando?
All right. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. Just want to talk to you a little bit about the Mississippi Forest Commission and some of the opportunity that we have for farmers, as particular to farmers that grows trees. So as you know, we're a state agency, and our primary goals are to provide protection against a wildfire for our state of Mississippi. And also we're in charge of managing the school's 16 section trust land, which part of the north half of the state, the northern part don't have 16 sections. They were sold off back in the early, I guess, 40s or 50s. But the nature of the beast is that we provide technical assistance for timberland owners. We can come out, we can inspect your trees. If you got some trees that are dying, we can diagnose those symptoms and try to help you come up with recommendation or a plan that you can kind of execute. One of the things that most of the landowners benefit from us is our cost share program, which we call it our Forest Resource Development Program. That program provides a cost share payment to a landlord if they choose to, once they have their trees cut and they decide they want to replant them, we have a cost share program from that. So what that cost share program entails is you must have a current deed or either a tax receipt, your name being on the deed, and you must have 10 acres or more to qualify for that FRDP program. Now in that program, it's not only for tree planting, you can do site prep work to get the trees ready to be planted. Also, if you got existing trees and you might want to have a controlled burn, that program also will take care of that. I know up in North Mississippi, there's a lot of kudzu. We have some money to help with maybe knocking back some of the competition for the kudzu upon our forest help program and also our FRDP application. Moving back forward to the technical assistance side of it, let's say you're a timber owner or landowners, you may not have a management plan for your farm. We can write you a management plan, kind of give you some tools that you can use to improve your trees and kind of maybe a timeline for maybe thinning or even harvesting your trees. Also with that plan, you could qualify to become a certified tree farmer. In Mississippi alone, it's about 3,000 plus tree farmers in the state of Mississippi. And that's simply being a tree farmer, simply saying that you is practicing good stewardship on your land, that you're doing everything environmentally sound, and that you're pretty much growing trees. And you pretty much can get a sign and, every 10 years, they may come out and do an audit of your tree farm to make sure you still have trees. But pretty much that's a volunteer type program. They say that it's encouraged to have it because when you get your timber log, your trees cut, that loggers and foresters pay close attention to the certified tree farm because they want to leave it in good condition. Also on the technical service side, we can do a little road work. We can do controlled burning. We can do a walk around or walk through. Last resort that we typically don't like to do is to plant trees, but we can kind of help you guys, assist you guys in doing so. Now, stuff that we charge for a fee, that's the burning, maybe fire lane work. You want to do some fire lanes around your place, we can help you with that, put fire lanes in. We can reestablish a road, make some turnouts, some water bars if need be. And also, several years back, 2 years ago, we purchased some forest mulchers. So we have mulchers machine that we kind of can mulch. If you live in those critical area where smoke control burn won't do it, you want maybe like a mechanical, and we have those mulchers that can take the place of that. Now that's the service that we offer for a fee. How you get in contact with your area forester, you would go with www.mfc.ms.gov, and you'll click the link below, say find your forester, and then it'll pull up the regional office. And then down below, it'll have your area forester contact information. Then if it's not an area forester listed for your county or your area, you would call the regional office, and somebody at the regional office will help you out with your question, or either come out and do a site visit. Now, we do a lot of things. I know in the news, with the fires that happen, I have the beauty of running the Firewise program, and we have 12 Firewise sites in the state of Mississippi, and that's simply 10 dwelling units, like a neighborhood or a rural city, taking consideration of doing some mitigation work around the city or either the subdivision. The closest USA site that I have is close to you guys in North Mississippi. That's Shore Lakes. out there. I think it's Benton County on the Benton Marshall County line. They are part of Firewise USA, and every year, you know, we've been able to help them by providing them with some grants, by giving them some equipment to help them reduce the risk of a wildfire threatening their area. So that's one of the programs that we also offer with the Mississippi Forest Commission, is helping landowners assess their homes, neighborhood, especially rural area, in terms of a wildfire. We have an urban forester on staff, and they can help cities and small cities with, you know, maybe establish some trees back into the cities with some of their programs. If you live in the city limit, you got an oak tree dying, those foresters can come out and kind of assess and see what's wrong with the trees. Also, we provide information. We still going to the school. We're doing Smoky Bear programs in the schools. We're doing conservation carnival, and also we're doing career fair, you know, to involve young people in a natural resource kind of field, kind of what to expect. For adults, we do selling your timber, the proper way to sell your timber workshop. We do forest health workshop on the different pests that's in Mississippi. No, we have a southern pine bark beetle. We have some ilks beetles. We have some invasive species, you know, like kudzu, coconut grass, and a few more others that we kind of want landowners to kind of look out for. If you see them on their place, kind of how to get rid of them because they're invasive. So pretty much in a nutshell, that's my presentation for today. We cover 82 counties in the state of Mississippi, and we have 4 regions. And inside those regions, we have roughly 25 service areas. So again, you know, my name is Orlando Ellaby, and my contact number is 601-481-5998, and that's 601-481-5998. At this time, you know, if there's any question, I will entertain any question that you may have.
I have a question. My name is Mac Daniels. I live in Jackson, Mississippi, but my question is concerning Senatobia, Mississippi. Do you service that area?
Yes, we do service Senatobia. I do have statewide responsibility, so I can come out one-on-one and do a walkover or a site visit with you along with the area forest if need be.
Okay, good. Now you mentioned that you do some road work. Could you speak a little bit more on the road work that you do?
All right, what we do, let's say like you had the timber cut, let's say 3 to 4 years ago, and you know, due to rain, it might have washed the road away, or might have had maybe some ruts in it. Right. We can come in there and we can bring our bulldozer and we kind of straighten out your roads, and also make some turnouts and some water bars, you know, to stop some erosion, or either do some water turnouts. But we do charge a fee for that. I think it's $150 an hour on the dozer. Just an idea of number, exactly. But yes, we do road work.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I would like to thank you guys for inviting me, Ms. Revlin, and you guys enjoy the rest of your day if there's not any more questions. Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I want to circle back around to Mr. Howard Gunn. I believe he's on the line now. There was a little technical difficulty. And Orlando, there was a comment in the chat, great presentation. We received the Family Forest Owners book. So thanks a lot. So that came from Mr. Marima.
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you, Dr. Frank.
Yes, that was a great presentation. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
It's Mr. Howard Gunn on the line.
I was in another meeting. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to do 2 meetings.
Just want to comment in there.
Stand by for
that-
Howard, please. He's trying to get in.
Okay.
Thank you.
While he's coming on, just want to thank some of the presenters on the information that so far they have provided. Information regarding land grant universities. You know, their purpose is really to educate farmers and help agriculture grow. So it's important to implement them. And it's just not the traditional Black colleges and institutions. It's all land grant universities. While we're waiting on him to come forward, I think I got a text.
See you, Dr. Chu.
I want to go back and also thank Ms. Howard for presenting information regarding FSA for it to be very easy to receive. Some of the forms that she showed are very important, and it all begins with that farm number. When you have an opportunity, please review in the chat box, people's contact information have been placed in the box.
Hello.
Just Mr. Gunn.
Yes, it is.
Okay, Mr. Gunn, welcome. We've circled back around and we're ready for you whenever you would like to make your presentation.
Okay, I want to first apologize. I had 2 conferences going on at the same time and on the tractor, so it's going to be brief. I had to get back off of here to get on another conference, but it's a pleasure. I did get an opportunity to hear some of the speakers, and it was very good, very great information. Thank you for the information. The speakers who have gone before me. We represent an environmental agricultural company, and we serve as consultants in many aspects of agriculture. A little bit about me, I guess. I am a agriculturalist from Tuskegee. Back in the day, I graduated with a degree in agriculture. Taught school here, worked with Florida A&M University. We're out of state. We're in Florida. UF, University of Florida, agricultural programs where we do lots of research with the 2 universities. We're presently farming here and in Mississippi. We have a farm there in Okolona, Mississippi, my hometown. We run cattle, sweet potatoes, and other crops there in Mississippi, as well as Florida. In Florida, we consult with the University, Florida A&M University. We're here on 3,800 acres of land that we were able to secure back about 8 years ago when Dr. Mangum was the president of the university. We had an opportunity to get this land, or else it would have been turned over to another organization, land grant colleges. So we managed the 3,800 acres of land. We were able to get farmers in to lease the land. So we have about 8 farmers here on the property, and each of those farmers, they lease about 250 acres a piece. And it's basically a cattle farm right now, but we're looking to bring crops in here. There's just so many deers and so many things out here that would tear the crops up. So we haven't figured that out. But we're here now, and matter of fact, that's where I was in a meeting with. We're doing silvopasture, the young man that came on to talk about forestry. Yeah, I appreciate your information, because we're putting in a silvopasture now, a 16-acre silvopasture here on the property here at FAMU. We're located in Brooksville, Florida, right outside of Orlando. It's for the 3,800 acres of land is what we have. But apart from that, we advocate. We are advocates. We speak on behalf of farmers who can't get to DC or can't get to the state capitol, to shore up the fact that we are interested in what is being done with this farm bill, what is being done with the farm monies, and why aren't we an intricate part of the decision making. SEED stands for Sustaining Environment Through Education and Economic Development. We believe in economic development in our rural areas as well as in our cities. Tony and I have done some major work as it relates to produce distribution, getting the produce to the certain areas, whether it be food banks or whether it be individual grocers, or from here to Atlanta to Mississippi to Birmingham. We have a route that we go through every summer, especially with watermelons and cantaloupes, mangoes and things of that nature. We have access to all of that product here in Florida. We're facing some issues here now. Prices are going to increase. The migrants here, the immigrants here, are in hiding. Those that were in the fields are not in the fields. We have a serious problem with our farming here in Florida, throughout the nation, actually. So we're trying to help mitigate some of that as it relates to our labor and the cost of the product. It's going to get expensive. It's going to get very expensive. And this is what we're trying to step in and do. So as a part of SEED, Sustaining Environments Through Education, Economic Development, we speak on behalf of the environment, where it relates to air, soil, and water qualities. We are most concerned with the pollution as we are affecting the environment. So we have consultants that work with us and throughout the nation in this arena. We recently had a grant with the NRCS office out of Panama City, down in Pensacola, where we were trying to bring in awareness to the people there who were living on the ocean and basically being affected by it due to the pulpwood mills that was in their neighborhoods. And some of you know basically how they come into our neighborhoods and bring in this industry there, but they don't seem to care about the pollution that comes with them. So we had a great turnout with that. We were very successful in that. We made people more aware of their rights as it relates to water pollution, air pollution, and soil pollution. Some of those people have been there since the 40s, living in those areas, 50s, living in those areas. And those houses that they lived in is next door to those pulp plants, those pulp mill plants, those wood plants. And some of them was complaining about health issues. That got real big. We had to pull back, because when you start talking about environment and what you face, then are these big companies who have enough money to circumvent what you're trying to do. But we were able to bring some awareness to that area. We're very concerned about the pollution that is in our communities, whether it be water, air, or soil. We advocate for cleaner air, cleaner water, and better soils. And we do the produce. Tony and I, like I said earlier, we are produce distribution distributors. We can source any produce in the United States. We can ship it from anywhere you want to, even to Africa, and we hope to increase that along the way. Mississippi is noted for its sweet potatoes. We ship sweet potatoes from Mississippi back to Florida and in other parts of the United States because Mississippi is number one. And as we advocate for better for farming, we try to educate the farmer. Now, you live in a state where sweet potato is number one, but how many black sweet potato producers do we have in the state? You know, we try to bring this awareness to you. Vardaman, Mississippi is only 15 miles from Okolona, you know, and I go directly to the farm and pick stuff up. We have farm sweet potatoes when I was living there, you know, 10 acres, 15 acres, but 10 acres of sweet potatoes is a lot of sweet potatoes. When I get back to Florida with the sweet potatoes, I have a line, I have people waiting on me. They're waiting in line to get Mississippi sweet potatoes. So again, you know, let's look at where we are, what we're doing. You know, what do we have that others might want? You know, even with the hay and the cattle, Mississippi have lots of land, more land than they have people. So again, try to figure that out. And you know, I know it's on a big scale, but it also can be done on a small scale. Collard greens, mustard greens, turnip greens, you know, we move a lot of that during the year. But Mississippi can grow that in areas and times that Florida can't grow it because it gets too hot here. We only can grow in the winter months. You guys can grow all the way up until get to freeze, and then you can replant. So let's, you know, we try to bring awareness to the farmer of how can you profit, because I'm not in farming it's not a hobby for me. It's a business for me. If I'm not making money in farming, I don't need to be farming. And we have to express that to our hobby farmers. You can make money off of 5 acres, 3 acres, 2 acres if you're precise in what you're doing. And someone mentioned precision farming earlier, where you're sending the drones out, or you're making sure that the water to that plant is just enough, not too much and not too less. And that's through irrigation. Or you're doing microgreens in your hoop houses or in your greenhouses, converting them. This guy in Tennessee is doing $225,000 a year on 2 acres of land in his greenhouses by doing microgreens. So we got to look at this as differently from our forefathers. What it took for them to do, I can do it on a half an acre, and they had 10 to 20 acres. It's all about being precise and getting the knowledge, getting the education from the land grant colleges, from the universities, and from these organizations that are instrumental in providing you with this information. The seed companies, one of the biggest problems we're facing now with seeds, you know, getting quality seeds. We have no black seed banks that I know of. So we can do this. We've done this. We built America. They didn't give us the 40 acres, didn't give us any land, but still we was able to overcome that. And we can do better than what we're doing. And someone mentioned the children. This is so important to me because I taught agriculture. I had the kids in the 4-H and the FFA. You know, we did public speaking. We grew cattle. We're not doing it in our black churches. If our black churches were to buy collard greens and purple hull peas and okra from a farmer, we could put other people in business and increase our output. And I think that we're living in a time now that if we didn't want to do it, we're going to be made to do it under this administration, that we're going to have to buy black. And that's what we need to be doing. But I'm going to stop here because I can go on because agriculture is part of me. Born in Egypt, Mississippi, amen, right between Mississippi State and Ole Miss, grew up on the farm, went to school, learned agriculture. All I've ever done was agriculture. And that's what I'll die doing because it gives me a peace when I can walk across the land that my granddaddy and great-granddaddy once owned. You know, buy land, they don't make anymore. But again, I thank you for this opportunity. I wish I was more prepared. I just jumped off of one call. Gentlemen want watermelons in Ohio. Come April, we're shipping watermelons to Ohio. They need the food worse than anybody. Chicago calls, Ohio calls. Everybody wants this product. But the biggest problem we're having is transportation. And if someone can figure that transportation part of it out, you let me know, because we I say transportation, we have trucks, but it's expensive to run the product up the road unless you have enough to run up the road. But thanks again for the opportunity. I do apologize that I don't have anything written out, but I thank God for you, and thank God for what you're doing. I think it's awesome, and continue doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Mr. Gunn,
Sir.
If you want to take a quick question, do you mind?
No problem.
So,
No problem.
So will you explain not having the Hispanic brothers and sisters out there in the fields down there, what is done to the what type of increase we're going to see in percentage wise, maybe what you're seeing already down there coming out of there on produce, on just the cost of it, even if not the transportation? You know, what type of rise have you seen, have you noticed?
Well, the product now, what we've experienced down in Arcadia and Okeechobee, where you first get all the watermelons coming out now, they will have watermelons, what is this, February, the 1st of March, they'll come out in Okeechobee, down in Homestead, in Miami. They're going to be extremely high. And that's usually where it is with the first arrival of watermelons. But after that, they'll come down. But the problem is in our packing houses, who's going to pack these watermelons? Who's going to come out of the field with these watermelons? Like I said earlier, you know, they're arresting these guys on the interstate. You can just drive down the interstate and they pull them over. And those that they were in the fields, they're afraid they're here, but they're not going out. So now where does this labor go? Where do you get the labor from? Not only here, but you go up to Georgia and Cordele. We're hearing problems there. We try to get stuff there, and you know they're going up, increasing in the price. I'll give you an example. We were paying $52 a case of tomatoes, and that was about a month and a half ago. Tomatoes have come down now, but a month and a half ago we was paying $52 for a 20-pound crate of tomatoes. They're at $27 now, and this is on the market. They're at $27, especially in Ruskin, where they grow a lot of these tomatoes. But what we're hearing from those that are growing these tomatoes that they can't find laborers, so they're going to increase the price, and then the availability won't be as much.
Right.
So and you know who's getting the product first. The product goes to Kroger, Publix, Walmart. They get number ones first. They're going to serve them first, and then we come in after they gotten theirs. But right now, the labor shortage is devastating us here in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So and expect an increase in food prices.
So it sounds like that our produce that we're producing on our farms then should have a higher value as well, because everybody's gonna have to eat.
They go up, you know, your price is gonna have to stay, you know, marginal with everybody else's. I mean, I can't just give you this that you can get cheaper here than you can get at Kroger's. No, maybe my product is higher than Kroger, because first of all, you know where your product comes from. You know your food, know your farmer. I would rather buy from you, Tony, than to buy from Publix or from Kroger.
Mm-hmm.
See, black farmers has been giving their stuff away. You know, we don't put any value in our stuff. Folks come to your farm and think you're supposed to give them something. I don't do that no more. No, you pay me because I feed this to my children, and I know the chemicals that I put on it, if I put any chemicals on here. So you're getting a better product. Then you go to the store, to Publix or to Kroger, you don't really ask the produce manager where this is coming from. I do if I buy stuff, but a lot of times they don't even really know. It ain't from America most of the time.
Is it because of our certifications? Is it because we don't carry the certifications and we don't hit the regulations? What do you think that's behind? You know, we don't ask for it. We don't ask for the right amount.
I think we have become, you know, I think we have become so common with what we do on our farm that we don't put enough value on our own work, and we give our stuff away. And you know, people expect that from a truck farmer, as we used to call him, a truck crop farmer. He sits on the side of the road, he gives his stuff away. I don't do that, and we shouldn't do that, because if we all are on the same page with what your product is, if you're selling conch peas, cream 40s, or whatever pea you're selling, we should have a general price across the board. But when I can come to your farm, Tony, and get it for $27 a bushel, and go down there, somebody else got one for $20 a bushel, we can't do that. We have to be on the same page.
Right. And I just want to go over that just a little bit, just to show people that our product has value. Last month, I could buy Last month, I could buy squash at 60 cents a pound out of the agriculture marketing services. Day before yesterday, it cost me $1.13.
Yeah.
For that same pound of squash. Last month, it cost me 60 cents a pound.
That's right.
Then it went up. Day before yesterday, we bought it at $1.13.
Wow.
And that's on a mass load. That was a load now of that stuff. So we have to realize that our produce is just as valuable if when we hit those requirements. And we need to do that
Absolutely.
with Gregory Hudson, with you, and through all these programs. We need to direct our farmers to jump in and get the right information so they could put that value on their produce. That value. That's all. I'm sorry, take up your time, everybody.
No, but I think it's a great opportunity for us as farmers based on what this administration is doing now. I think we begin to see that we can come together, we can shop together, we can grow together. Open the grocery stores up, getting what we need to get back to where we used to do. We're going to be okay. We know how to survive. If it means, going back to the hog, a lot of us have walked away from the hog. We still eat a portion of it, but we just, how we used to do it, souse, hog head cheese, pig knuckles and everything else. I mean, we're going to be all right. But the fact of the matter is, we can do better if we can provide the product to our people at a reasonable, as a reasonable cost and having quality. Everybody wants quality. You pay for it. So there's hope. Let's stay strong. Let's shop black. On the 28th, we have a mandate. And some of you may already know on the 28th of this month that we should have it's a blackout day. We are not to buy anything from anyone on the 28th unless it's black. And we're going to show them what the dollar means, because we know how they think about us. So let's do what we need to do. Don't buy anything on the 28th. Blackout day, if it's not black. Thanks again. Appreciate your time.
Shay.
Y'all be good. Mississippi, love you. Take care.
Thank you so much. I want to bring in Winston County for closing remarks.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Ms. Pegg, thank you so much for having us. I'm Tiari with the Winston County Self-Help Cooperative. We're based out of Louisville, Mississippi, and we have very similar objectives same as Ms. Pegg. And I just want to thank all the presenters that were here today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming out and sharing your expertise to the masses. I do want to keep that encouraged going on and do the things that we can do. I sent over a link to Mela. I'm not sure, Mela, did you already put it in the chat? There's a link there's 3 seats that are available in the House, and those special elections are going to be taking place really soon. And so Gay Valmont, she's in like that northern Florida area. Her election is going to be on April the 1st. And you're able to join in and help with the phone banks. That's a huge, 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 huge benefit to potential Congress people for us to help them out with calling the constituents in their areas, let them know, hey, there's a special election, make sure you go and vote for blase, blase. Also, Mr. Gunn has already pointed it out, but it should be in the chat as well about February the 28th. There is if Mela, if you could post that is a huge effort that we as people of color are trying to push to ensure that our monies, when we stop using the money, that's when the billionaires will feel it. And so we should here things prior, buy things after, but please don't buy on the day. But we just also got to remember we have one another. If you need to reach out, we're available. Give us a call, drop us a chat, just something. If you are in need of just that mental support, we're here for you all. So just keep hanging on there and keep doing what you're doing. If you could do more, let's do more. If we could donate. all the things that you can do to help support our current situation. That's what we have to look forward to doing. So thank you so much for having us speak today or give remarks. We appreciate it, and we look forward to the next year.
This is Thelbert LeSure in Holly Springs, Mississippi, and I want to thank all the participants for coming out and sharing your information. It was very valuable. I also want to make everyone aware of a couple of events that's coming into Holly Springs, Mississippi. We have a Black veterans discrimination lawsuit. I spoke with Mr. Richard Brashear on Brookshire on yesterday, and he will be doing, Mississippi will be his pilot, the pilot for that discrimination lawsuit. They were going to make Mississippi their pilot. And so on the 13th, unless that date changes, they'll be asking for all Black veterans or all Black descendants of World War II veterans to come to Holly Springs so they can get that process started there. And and again, this is going to go nationwide, but Mississippi will be the pilot program. And I'll definitely post a link in the comments so that if anyone is interested or know of a descendant of a World War II or a Korean War veteran, please attend this particular meeting. And whatever I can do here in Holly Springs, as the mayor, she has an election that's coming up on April the 1st. We definitely want to support her in all her endeavors for some of the things that she's actually accomplished here in this city. So, and I appreciate you all again for coming out, and thank you for your time and allowing me to speak.
Revlon, you have anything before we close out?
I just want to thank everybody for joining in and attending this very valuable workshop. As so many people have talked about and alluded to, you know, we as Black people, we've survived a lot, and we're going to survive this one. But it's going to take all of us collaborating and working together. So I want to thank Mr. Thelbert and Miss Ellington Howard for coming up with the idea for this new and beginning farmers workshop. But this will not be the last. And while we're making announcements, I had a whole big old list, but in the just to save time, we want to talk about, I just do want to announce that there's another in-person meeting coming up on Thursday, February 27th at Miss Annie's. And it will be about climate smart initiatives. So we're going to give you a free meal. So make sure you share that with your family and friends. That's at Annie's in Holly Springs, Mississippi. And I can't thank you enough. Thank you for the team who helped to pull that all together. Mr. Thelbert, Miss Samantha, anybody else we called on, Miss Constance, we twisted her arm. Sharonda, thank you. Thank you, Winston County, for coming through whenever we call you. We need Jonathan today. Jonathan just steps right up. And also Maya. And of course, Dr. T and Frank. Did he drop off? But anyway, thank you, everybody.
Revlon, I just wanted to say one thing. This is Constance, and I really need to get the point of paying your taxes, your property taxes, and not losing land based upon someone not paying your taxes. Please, whatever you do. A lot of this farmland has been lost because people have not taken the effort to pay their property tax. And there was another important part brought up about succession. We're not any younger, and it's important for us to have a plan and how we pass our legacy forward. We also talked about a lot of climate forward practices. That's going to be very important. The quality of air, water, and soil. You're going to hear that over and over and over again. There's a lot of things that you can buy and make, but land is not that. So I wanted to end on that. And I appreciate everyone who has participated. We've had a great meeting today, and you know, it's all about making connections and moving forward.
Oh, can I, for one, endorse the mayor and the work she's been doing, and also for her upcoming election. I'm out in the county, but if I was there, I would vote for her and Mr. Thelbert on the phone. Thank you for the work you're doing.
No, thank you, Ms. Revelin. You've been a stalwart for Black farmers and the cause for decades. And again, it's been an honor really to work with you. Your older brother is I mean, he's a pillar of our community, and there's nothing that that you could actually ask of us that we would not do our absolute best to make sure that it happens. So if any time that you call on me or anyone else here in Holly Springs, we're gonna be there because we understand the contributions that the Gibson family itself has made to our city, and we are so grateful. I mean, from ICS Head Start all the way to helping my grandparents vote. It's, we understand, and I don't want to let that get lost, especially in this upcoming election. We're going to do everything we possibly can under the sun that's legal to make sure that Sharon is reelected because, again, the contributions from the Gibson family alone to Marshall County and especially Holly Springs is unmatched. And without that, those contributions, we will be stuck in a place where, that our grandkids will have to endure some of the things that should have been put away a long time ago. So it's just been an honor to really work alongside you and knowing that the legacy that your family has actually contributed to this community. And we're here for whatever calls that you call on us. We're going to be there, ma'am.
That's humbling. Thank you.
Ms. Coleman, this is Gregory Hudson from Vanguard. Could you get my email address from Samantha, and if you can send me the names of those individuals? And I was just thinking about it. They don't need to call me. If you can give me their names and their numbers, I'll call them.
Yes, I
Okay.
sure will.
Yeah,
Sure.
let's do it that way.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you so
Okay.
very much.
Yep.
Yes, with that, it's time to adjourn. I think we've stayed to task. We've learned some things. And we are going to put a lot of things that we have learned into action. That's the most important thing, is turning knowledge into action.
Thank you all, and y'all have a great day and stay safe.
Okay.
All right.
Black Power.
I really enjoyed this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
We will get a copy of the recording. Is that correct? Because there were some things I kind of missed. So is that going to be available to all those that registered?
I'll ask the admin person how she does that. I certainly will.
Hey,
Yeah,
y'all.
I enjoyed it as well. Thank you so much.
Can I close out with a prayer? I just want to pray for us.
Please do.
Thank you.
Hallelujah. Father, we just thank you for this time, for all the voices and all the people involved. God, we need your guidance. We need your understanding. We ask you to open our eyes that we may see the wondrous works of your law. God, how you plan things for us to operate together. We're only stewards, dear God. And God, we just trust you, dear God, to continue to align us and align our hearts so that we can have one beat, one thought, dear God, so that we can be a blessing, not only to ourselves, but to our children's children's children. God, help us to see the vision and help us to apply wisdom to this vision. We give you all the praise, the glory, and the honor for what you're doing. You have shaken the whole nest now. So God, we just pray now that we can find our place at the table. And we thank you for it. And we give you all praise, glory, and honor. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Y'all stay safe.
Stay
Thanks
safe.
again for the invitation.
Thank
Thank you,
you all.
everyone.
Thank you.